금강산도 식후경이라는 말이 있죠. 막걸리 한 잔 싹 때리려고 막걸리 집에 왔습니다. 평소에 못했던 얘기하면서 걷다 보니 약수터가 있길래 시원한 물 한 잔 싹 때려줬습니다. 와, 오늘 날씨가 진짜 미쳤더라고요. 어느새 정상에 도착해서 사진 한 장 찍고, 원래 제가 술을 안 마시는데 오늘은 좀 땡기더라고요.
Hi guys, good morning. Hopefully everybody can hear me just fine. I should probably adjust my Bitcoin here a little bit. Let me pull that up. We got a lot to talk about as usual again today. So we've got a China trade deal nearing. Talk about kind of what the details of that are. We've got CPI coming in this morning. I think it's going to be lower. Tom Lee just had a conversation about that on FS Insight. Maybe, since he's my buddy. We'll take a moment and look at what he had to say within that pay-only portal, just out of the kindness of my heart. Oh, mic issue? Oh, dude. That's the mic issue. Sorry. Hey, you know what? Is that better? Is that better? Can we hear the mic? Can we hear it now? Oh, yeah, you got to put it down. You got to put it in front of you. That does help. Okay, it worked. Good. Okay, so lots going on today. We got a China trade deal. We got CPI coming in lower, and I think that's going to be happening. That comes in, I believe, around 7:30 today. Let's just take a look. Core inflation rate, CPI. Yeah, okay, 7:30 a.m. this morning, Central Time. So that's going to be exciting. Elon apologized to Trump, which is wonderful. That's why I played that video this morning. And then Robotaxi launch live on the 22nd, 11 days from now, potentially driving the car driving itself to the first customer on the 28th, the end of the month. Can you imagine that? The cars just driving themselves to the customers in, I'm assuming, Austin, Texas. Fucking crazy. Yeah, and we'll talk about markets and kind of what I think are going to happen. It's going to be fun. You missed the apology? Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Let's start off with China, because I think that's going to be one of the biggest things today, along with a whole bunch. There's a lot that's happened in the last 2 days. So James E. Thorne said the framework of the U.S.-China deal needs blessing from Xi and Trump. It looks like it's getting that. I actually think Xi is falling out of power. We'll talk about that, but U.S.-Chinese officials agree on plan to reduce trade tensions. Summary of by Bloomberg AI. The U.S. and China have agreed on a preliminary plan to ease trade tensions, which could revive the flow of sensitive goods between the two countries. The plan aims to resolve issues around shipments of rare earth minerals and magnets, with U.S. negotiators expecting the topic to be resolved in the framework implementation. The agreement is subject to approval by the presidents of both countries. And again, this is something where we on the U.S. side, we called out the fact that these guys weren't doing their part on what they had initial discussions about kind of reopening with rare earth elements and these other things before. And so we're continuing to apply pressure. I think China's under massive pressure, guys. So it's going to be very interesting. Optimus CEO changed. Yeah, not really worried about any of that. I think that's just a lot of noise. I think the guy, he quit because he just needs to spend time with his family, and I get it. I don't actually think I could work for Elon Musk. He's too much of a driven tyrant to work for. This is the same guy that if you read his autobiography, I don't know if this one was written by him or in the past. I don't know. It was a long time ago. I read it in like 2017. It was before Walter Isaacson did it. And in that one of the complaints from one of his employees was that they couldn't work because they had all these other things going on, and something about their vision I can't remember. Elon said to them, "I need you here, and I'll pay for like." Oh no, I think they had glasses or something, and they were having problems with it. I don't remember if they forgot them. I can't remember the story. You guys tell me in chat if you do. But he essentially said, "Well, I need you here, and I need you to be in top shape. I will pay for LASIK eye surgery. Do it tomorrow." So I don't know. Like he's driven, dude. He's driven. He's very driven. I don't think I could work for the guy. Your work-life balance would probably be incredibly painful. So, but again, he's brilliant. He gets shit done. That's what we want in somebody that's going to be leading us into the future. He's probably not going to be the 9-to-5 guy that focuses on family, right? 1 second here. I got to adjust something. Just 1 second. Let's see if I got it. Okay, cool. I just had to get my login stuff working. Let's see here. Elon, better to work for than Bezos if you're gifted. Probably. Yeah, that's probably true. I've never really liked Bezos either. Victor Hernandez says, Iron, $500 million convertible notes. Yep, we'll talk about that. Ale says, good morning from Germany. Good morning, sir. So yeah, you can see Commerce Secretary Letnick says parties have reached consensus towards U.S.-China trade deal. We've reached a framework to implement the Geneva Consensus. Once the presidents approve it, we will then seek to implement it. So again, waiting presidential approval on different countries. I do want to talk about this because I don't think enough people are talking about the current state of China, but I want to. Rod Martin says, exclusive, massive power struggle in Beijing. Is Xi Jinping's grip crumbling? I actually think it is. I've never said this before. I'm only saying this right now in the last month. I believe he's starting to lose power. I believe other parties in the CCP and factions are rising up against him. The CCP is like an episode of Game of Thrones. People grab other party members. They arrest them for different reasons, pull them over provincial lines, and then have them, prosecuted and executed all the time. It's just a normal thing. And Xi has done this to people that brought him into power. So it's brutal, man. It's brutal. And again, people that were literally leaders of the Communist Party getting taken out during annual events and basically escorted out. And you can see that they're like, what the fuck is going on? As just a power play to show people like, don't mess with me. So this is how the world is ruled. But let's listen here. So Rod Martin says, unusual personnel changes have occurred recently. Top military commanders have had suspicious deaths. That's been happening for a while. Lowest ranking delegate sent to major summit. That's strange. Media coverage dramatically reduced. And Xi Jinping had the president of Belarus in his house. People actually think he's on lockdown. A temporary central group has effectively sidelined Xi's authority. This isn't just politics. It's a full-blown power struggle. I do believe that that's going on behind the scenes. Multiple whistleblowers claim Xi now is serving in a nominal capacity only. The real power is said to be shifting to reformist factions backed by former leaders Wen Jiabao and Hu Jintao. Is it true? Don't know. But if it is, changes everything with the negotiations with Trump. And again, I think that's why we're probably getting actual real negotiations with Trump. He said, think about it. Was the last time a Chinese leader disappeared for 2 weeks with no explanation? This is unprecedented. It is unprecedented. The CCP's propaganda machine is silent. If Xi was still in control, they'd be working overtime to prove his authority. And what's weird is that like what is it? The China Daily Mail. I can't remember the names of all the different media, but some of their major news publications that usually are like, Xi did this, Xi did that, Xi, all over the cover and everywhere else. He's just gone. He's just gone. And that isn't normal. It's unprecedented, actually. And this is all around the time of Tiananmen Square when we saw the communists rule really. It was like a fork in the road. They had a decision of becoming more democratic or becoming more communist. They took that communist route, and it's sad. But the person and that could do something from the more democratic side just chickened out and let the other dictator have control. And so I do think I think this power struggle is going on behind the scenes, and I think it's good for us. Now, the Chinese are trying to do stuff. If we look here, another Chinese researcher, this is a third in a couple of weeks, was arrested after flying from Shanghai to Detroit. She was caught smuggling biological materials from Wuhan and lying to federal agents. She's the third Chinese scientist caught doing this in Michigan in recent weeks. So again, they're trying to get bioweapons into our country that kill crops and all kinds of stuff. So it's not like they're not trying to do something. And we already talked, this was on Monday, about how the money printer's going burr, and how that's going to continue within China. So I think that's enough talk about China. Yeah, if you guys could, Kirby Tex, thank you. If you guys could hit the like button, it's greatly appreciated. If you guys can comment, hit the like button, comment after the stream too in the YouTube videos. It's greatly appreciated. It helps reach a wider audience, which is what I'm trying to do. I want to help more people. Plus, I think we get better by teaming up with other people. The more smart people we get in chat, the more smart people we get in the Discord and again on X and on YouTube, the better we're going to be, right? Like KWM, Alex Garcia brought that up. Alex, I don't know if you're in here, maybe you're not. He brought that up the other day. There are people that, like, I think Scott King made, 100% or something? I ended up only getting like 30%, something like that, 30, 35, I can't remember. But that was like what, a 12-hour return or something, or a 20-hour return. Absolutely insane. Greatly appreciated. I did want to say real quickly, let me see, cool moments on Twitter. I just want to jump to this. I wanted to say thank you for everybody for this. And I didn't even want to be a YouTuber. I didn't even want to show my face. I don't even think I wanted to be a social media influencer. I just retired, again, almost 5 years ago, and wanted to do something, right? Like I was investing and I was like, well, I should share my thoughts. I started off in Facebook groups. It was miserable. They silenced me every time I talked about China. I was deleted. And anyway, it was one of those things where I kept going a little bit further and a little bit further and a little bit further. And you guys kept prodding me the whole time. And now I've reached 2 million views in a year and a half on YouTube, which is shocking to me. And I'm grateful for it. I'm even more grateful that I have friends like Tom Lee, who literally encourage me all the time and retweet my stuff. And there's just a number of people that are like this. But I mean, Tom's a pretty high profile guy. The fact that he even pays any attention to me, Thomas, I am very grateful to you, my friend. Very grateful. All right. Let me just jump around here real quick. We're going to go to U.S. economy. There's so much going on. The prodding will continue. Thank you, Harold. I look forward to it. Just make sure it's the right kind of prodding, okay? Be nice. All right. U.S. economy, Lance Roberts. Goldman Sachs is now tracking G2 GDP growth at 3.7%. Q1's negative print. Recession risk is nil for now. This is fascinating, right? Because we had projections of doom and gloom, and yet, for some reason, we're now up here. It's just funny how all that works. I get a kick out of it all the time. China deal done? Oh, let me check. Oh, hey, you might be right. 1 second here, guys. 1 second. We're going to back up the truck here. We got some talk about the China deal.
Excellent. So clearly, President Trump has been briefed now on these talks, and he's confirming what we had been talking about for the past.
Tesla up 2.5% in pre-market. We'll see what happens with Bitcoin here. Bitcoin's kind of meandering.
Last 2 days that the focus really stayed.
This is crazy too, guys, because I just did a post talking about how the NASDAQ is in a breakout zone along with the S&P. This sends that into launch mode. And watch out, though, guys, as we're launching, remember this. Fear and greed in the greed territory, okay? So right now, don't take all your money out. Please fucking don't do that. But nibbling a little bit out, not a bad idea.
On China's rare earths, which should now start to flow to the U.S. and on the U.S.'s export restrictions, which should ease up in return. Here's Howard Lutnick talking about the same topic last night to reporters.
We do absolutely expect that the topic of rare earth minerals and magnets with respect to the United States of America will be resolved in this framework implementation. That is a fundamental part of that. Also, there were a number of measures the United States of America put on when those rare earths were not coming. You should expect those to come off sort of, as President Trump said, in a balanced way.
See, we don't trust the Chinese government, and so we're only going to do it when we see the actions that we want to see.
When they approve the licenses, then you should expect that our
Voyager
export
Technologies IPO.
implementation will come down as well.
So I'd put it this way, guys, taking everything we just heard, both from the president and from the Commerce Secretary, this is definitely a step in the right direction, but it is a somewhat small one. It roughly...
Okay, now CNBC is going to do their spin about how they hate Trump and how what he's doing isn't really shit, yada, 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 whatever. We know. We know what mainstream media does all the time. All the time. Let's keep going. So yeah, LW Crypto was just talking about how Voyager Technologies is getting ready to IPO under BOYG. Also, guys, for people that have been interested in the European company that's getting ready to just buy a shit ton of Bitcoin, ALTBG, they do have a new ticker symbol. We'll talk about that. I don't know if it's fully live yet, but I do believe it's coming really quickly. If you guys know that, throw it out in chat. Sean said, growth at all costs. Asset prices will explode, especially with the shadow Fed. Shadow Fed, yeah. Can Scott Bessent be the Treasury Secretary and the Fed? I guess so. We'll see. And again, I just reiterated it over here, and I don't have a lot of cash right now, guys. I'm like 1% cash, maybe a little bit less. So really low amount. But I do believe that, again, taking a little bit off the table is not a bad idea. It makes you feel good when you take a little bit of cash and you could buy the dip. Somebody said something about similar. Sold my similar shares 2 days ago to gather a little cash. I don't think that's a bad idea. And here's the thing. Similar could bounce. I didn't like it. And I post all this stuff for subs, guys. I posted the video link that was done on X with the CEO, who I like the CEO. I like Eric Simler. I love Natalie Brunell. I like what he's trying to accomplish. What I didn't like with Simler were the lawsuits from all the different companies suing them. I didn't like the Department of Justice investigation. And again, I believe it's actually unwarranted for this company. But here's the problem. They dipped down to like 0.79 versus their NAV. And I don't know if they're in a good position to issue more stock. They could be. And maybe this turns out fine. But I learned something. I learned something when Luna collapsed. I learned something when FTX collapsed. I learned something when Voyager was falling apart and BlockFi was falling apart and all these other exchanges were collapsing and people were talking about Binance collapsing and CZ got arrested. You know what I learned? I learned that if there's smoke, get the fuck out before there's fire. I operate off of that. I would rather be safe than not. And again, KWM made a shit ton of money off of that, right? That's great. Making a bunch of money is great. I could have made more money. Scott made a bunch of money. Some people made even more money. This thing went up to 840. So again, you could have 100%ed your money over like in 24 hours if you held on to this. But I exited. And the reason I exited is because when you look this company up, K-Wave Media, you gotta understand what it is, right? So let's just look at this real quick. Let's look at K-Wave Media, guys. And again, I'm following this guy. He changed the picture again. This is K-Wave Media. They went from 102 followers to 105 right now. I guess that's good. And again, they were on a video talking about the South Korean metaplanet. The problem I have, though, is like this is the representation of the company. They're based out of the Cayman Islands. They have 3 employees. If you look up K-Wave Media on the internet, you will see that they have a really shitty website and they're all about South Korean K-pop. And I don't see, when I look up the financials of this company, they look horrendous and they have no revenue. So again, it's great. It's great if you make some money over a short period of time off of a company. I love that. I can't fault anybody for that. But when you have no revenues and only negative expense and negative cash flow, and then you talk about issuing $500 million, like I jumped into that because I saw it as a quick YOLO, and I even told you guys it was a YOLO. And again, if you're still in it, you're up a lot. You're up 100% pretty much in the last 2 days. But take it for what it's worth, maybe. Again, I'm not saying there's fire here, but there's enough smoke for me to go, I don't even think this is a real company. And it's 3 fucking people. And my daughter's into K-pop. I'm not. So there's going to be a ton of these. There's over 60 companies right now that are doing this shit. Okay? So I don't know. You got to watch out. Oh, the Smarter Web. I've heard about them too. I don't even know if I could trade the Smarter Web SWC. Does anybody have that ticker? Can you trade that on Robinhood? Does anybody even know where that exchange is listed? It's a very small, it could be another YOLO. It could be another YOLO, but I don't see it on Robinhood. I'm checking real quick on my other main exchange to see if I can find it there. What is it? TSWCF is Smarter Web. TSWCF. Okay, let me see if I can find that. Is that on TSWCF? I don't see it on Robinhood. What do I think about ABCL? I haven't really paid too much attention to it. I know there's a bunch of people pumping it. Launch on OTC today. Ugh, interesting. Let me see. All right, maybe I'll YOLO like 50K into that. What the fuck? All right, let me see. But again, guys, when I talk about stuff like this, I just want to be very clear. There's a difference between me YOLOing into something with is what an inconsequential amount of my portfolio and going all in, because that's what worries me. I listen to people that talked about similar, and again, I talked about similar, but like at max, I was 10% of my portfolio, and then I dialed it back very quickly to 5 once I saw Metaplanet get crushed. They were down over 30% in a day. So I reallocated to my favorite things, my highest conviction things. So I just want to, what was that ticker symbol again? Sorry, one more time. I just want to reiterate, it's not good. Oh, there it is. All right, I found it. It's not good to YOLO into shit. It's not good to YOLO into shit. This market cap is $10 million. Ah, fuck it. You sons of bitches. I wish I could get it on Robinhood. Robinhood is doing nothing to play with these. But I might have some fun this morning. I might have some fun and cash out of a little bit of my Tesla just to get this. Just to YOLO into this like a retard. So we'll see. And again, but if I'm doing this, guys, like if I'm doing this, please to God, keep in mind, I'm doing this with inconsequential amounts of money. Okay? It's not a big deal. This is nothing to me. If this thing goes to zero, I don't give a fuck because I made that much off of KWM just the other day. So please just be smart. If you jump into something like this, don't put your fucking life savings into it. Please to God. It's just not the right way to be. I don't want to see that. I heard people that are like, I'm all in on similar, and it dropped like 30% over the next month. Please don't do that. Please, please, please. I show you guys my portfolio. I'm not always good at updating it, but I'm working on it. But please, just be smart. Alona Sis, Jesse, there is a small stock, UAME Army. It's raw material. Okay. I'm not, I'll have to think about that. We should talk about that more. John Mahoney, Schwab, Fidelity, E-Trade, TD Ameritrade. Oh, so there's a lot of them. Okay. I get your point. Can we buy it in pre-market? You might be able to. I think it's actually might be up right now. Let me go to the 4 hour. It looks like June 2025. What is it telling me? June 3rd. It looks like it has been open. This looks like it has been open. It hasn't went much of anywhere. Guys, can you tell me more details? This looks like a horrible company, but can you tell me more details about it? It has no revenue. It's just bleeding net income. It's an OTC stock. Yep. So, but there's nothing really here. Can you guys tell me any more about it? Let me see if I can even find this thing. Let me see. What was it? TSWCF or something? Let me go back over here. What was it? Smarter company. Let me close this. I guess maybe I'll just look at the financials there. TSWCF. I don't even think. Yeah, I can't even get it here. Let me try the smarter company. I haven't talked to my friend Alejandro in a while. Do you guys know how Alejandro is doing? The visualstocks.com guy. This is such a tiny stock, guys. Oh my God, it's such a tiny stock. It's such a tiny stock. Just watch this. Oh, watch this. If you guys all rush into this at once. Ooh. I don't think I can invest in the other ticker. I don't even know if I can invest in this period. Let me just check something real quick here. You said it's SWC. Yeah, that's true. but SWC isn't a ticker that's available to me in the U.S. Where is this company based out of? Yeah, so TSWCF, it looks like that is probably something I can buy, but it's all like limit order shit. It's all limit order shit. Let me see here. Cash available. I might have to turn margin on for my account. I hate that. Let me see here. How many of these can I get? They're $1.47. Jesus. That's a lot. Let me see here. Limit. 1 sec. I'm just playing with something, guys. Trying to see. I don't even know if I have margin on this thing. Oh, it's pink sheets. Yeah, so this is going to be slow going, guys. So you can only do, like, I think it's $10,000. Yeah, only like $10,000 a block, at least on mine in OTC. Extended, and I can't even do extended hours on this one because it's pink sheets. You can't do extended hours too. That's another thing. I probably should say that. So this is not limited pricing is too aggressive. Oh, god dang. This is going to be a slow roller, guys. If anybody plays around with this, it's going to be a slow roller. It ain't going to be quick. And watch out. There's like no liquidity in this thing. I don't even know what the volumes are. They're like non-existent. So this will be fun. Yeah, you just watch out, guys, because even just the amount of people in this room, it could get really weird with this one. So don't be too crazy, please. And Rex, thank you for joining as a member. We'll talk about that more. Let's come back to that. So we got a little bit of time. We got 9 minutes, guys, until we get CPI related data. It looks like markets are already feeling pretty good about the day. Let me do this. I'm gonna pull up a pre-market here real quick, or I should say this: Tesla. Markets are feeling pretty good about Tesla today, as you can see. Not a lot of hate towards Tesla. Not a lot of love towards anything else. But yeah, it should be fun. Jesse, you trade OTC stuff in your IRA, didn't you? Hence the limits. Yes, I do OTC in IRAs. I actually do vast majority of my trading is in IRAs, guys. I've got long-term accounts. 9 minutes to CPI data. I've got long-term accounts where I buy and hold for a year because of tax obligations. And again, everybody's different. Not everybody here is in the United States. But in the United States, you want to hold for at least a year because then you get something called long-term capital gains. And long-term capital gains are like half the tax rate usually of what shorter-term capital gains are. So you save yourself a lot on taxes, and that is a smart idea. I paid $250,000 last year. I'm going to try and lower my tax obligation this year, but honestly, the way I'm set up, it could still be a $400,000 tax bill, and I don't love that. But the year after that, I'll probably look at like a SEP conversion, and then I'll look at doing like an annual yearly distribution so that I can save the 10% penalty. So there's a lot of things I'm looking to do to lower my tax bill. Always think about that. The day trading, though, in an IRA is great because you don't actually pay taxes until you exit the funds and withdraw them, and then they count towards ordinary income, plus a penalty if you withdraw early. I would always, if you're going to take money out, take it out of your long-term accounts first. If you've had the stuff in there for a year. Secondary, take it from an IRA, a traditional IRA, because that one isn't after tax. And the very last thing you should ever withdraw your money from is a Roth IRA. Never take your money out of a Roth IRA because, again, that's already been taxed. So at the time of retirement, you have no penalty and no tax obligation. That's what you want to do. The market doesn't care about the trade deal. Well, here's the thing, though. The trade deal isn't actually that much yet because it requires China to do something, right? China needs to actually do what they're talking about. I do think they're going to do that, so I think that gets better with time. But, I mean, look at Tesla. We love Tesla, right? Tesla's up, guys. It's up a bunch. You can't hate that. That's good stuff. But I'll probably have about 100,000 in cash this morning because I'm probably going to cash out a little bit of TSLL and Tesla, maybe to YOLO into some of this other stock. We'll see. I'll do it slowly if I do it. Silas, if you don't hold a year, and we need to talk about that other stock real quick, and then we'll get back into other stuff. We'll get back into in 5.5 minutes, we're going to be getting our inflation-related data. That's going to be the big mover. Tom Lee thinks that inflation is going down. Actually, before we go into that and the stock stuff, we should look at that. Let's pull up Tom Lee real quick. And I hate to do this 2 days in a row, but whatever. And he's got a new thing this morning. Yeah, okay, let's listen to that. And again, don't sue me, Tom. I do want to say this. Sean Farrell from the crypto side of things, he said ETH remains the major favor right now because it's in the best position for a breakout zone, even over Solana and others. I agree with that. Let's real quickly, though, listen to some Tom Lee talk about markets. I won't do this all the time, guys, but I'll give you 3 minutes and 53 seconds of Tom Lee before we get our other data. And this is a pay for service that costs $250 a month, less if you skip the crypto. So this is a big deal. You guys are lucky to get it.
Good evening, FS Insight family and community. Today is Tuesday, June 10th, and this is our macro minute. There's a few macro things I want to highlight this week. Today, the trade talks between U.S. and China continue, and so far so good. As Lutnick said, trade talks are going well. On the second day, I think that speaks for itself, and the market responded appropriately. The NFIB May survey came out. This is for small businesses, and a few things that I think were positive is that capital spending plans jumped to 22% net of respondents. 10% net expect higher sales. That's a jump of 1,100 basis points from last month.
Yeah, speed up, Tommy boy.
And the number of people that said it's a good time to expand has jumped to 10%, up 100 basis points. As you can see, we had a flip on sales expectations from negative in April to positive in May. This is a good sign. And if you ask companies what their single biggest problem today is, inflation has been cut in half basically from a year ago. On Wednesday is May core CPI. Street's looking for 0.28% month over month and 2.9% year over year. Now, for the last 3 CPI reports, February, March, and April, CPI came in better than expected. So hopefully May will be the 4th. It's 4 in a row, by the way, is the best since 2020. And it is against tougher comps. But I think the key to remember is that housing and auto services have been 76% of all the rise in inflation, and 55% itself is from housing. So I'm going to.
All right. So I want to hold up on that figure real quick. So yes, new and used cars, auto insurance, and housing. If you look at core CPI, they make up huge portions of this. New and used car prices are coming down. Auto insurance is coming down because the prices of the cars are coming down. And housing sales are abysmal. Abysmal. I had somebody, I've got a post I'll show you guys in a little bit that talks about how they're so bad. This person sells land and they've been doing it for decades and decades and decades. And they said that it's the worst they've ever seen. Iron dropping. Yeah. Iron's doing like a $300 million issuance or something. So a drop of 6.86% and pre-market probably is normal. But yeah, so housing, I think all this stuff is coming down. I think this could actually help pop us today. But I also, all that said, I think a consolidation is actually probably better for markets and for Bitcoin. We'll talk about that more in just a second. And then we'll get to CPI.
I'll focus more on that when the results come out tomorrow. On Friday is the University of Michigan 1-year inflation expectations. And again, I talked about that yesterday. With S&P closed within 1% of an all-time high, so we're getting close to all-time highs, and this remains the most hated V-shaped rally. Is
it 500 million because there was such high demand? Yeah, but that's a huge amount of dilution. So seeing a temporary drop in iron is to be expected.
I thought this tweet was interesting, but
this is one of my favorites. I won't show it right now or show it later since we have it right here. But this shows short interest on the SPX components of the S&P 500 at a multi-year high. So if you guys look over here, short interest, it looks like total short interest was really low in 2022. But look at it now. Look at the amount of short interest that we're seeing right now against stocks. It's at record levels. The vast majority of hedges are leaning this way. So if we get low CPI data, if the China trade deal really does happen, if Tesla's looking good, if Bitcoin's doing good, and we start to explode higher, we have a massive impulse up based upon all the short interest that exists right now.
If you look at S&P total share short, okay, it stands at 7.7 billion. That's the highest in like 5 years, maybe more than 5 years. I mean, we have to go back to the COVID peak. And that's what I think keeps pullback shallow.
So again, COVID, guys, highest amount of short interest since COVID.
Investors are just not positioned for upside right now. And I think that also sets the stage for a face ripper. And keep in mind, we had a waterfall decline. This was basically the fifth fastest waterfall decline ever. And basically, previous waterfall declines had V-shaped recoveries. 2022 was the one that
all of them. And we talked about, if you guys were here, you knew that we weren't going down further. I spelled that out so fucking clearly. So did Tom.
didn't quite look like it, but look at these other ones. They're almost always V-shaped. So it's still a V-shaped hated rally. In terms of what we'd own, we still want to recommend the following: the washed out stocks, and we can.
Here, we'll cover this in a second. We do have economic data coming out, guys. We're going to jump over to that real quickly. Mop, did you say there was something new for a post from Trump? I know the China trade deal is done. Nobody really gives a shit about that right now. I think they care most about CPI, which is what we're sitting in front of right now. Let me just refresh the screen. We do have data coming in. We'll see what it looks like here. We got the print. Let me refresh real quick. Oh, I hate it when it just does that. So it gave us the read, and then it won't actually populate the data. There we go. All right, so let's look. Core inflation year over year, 2.8%, 0.1% lower. Tom Lee wins again. Inflation rate, 2.4%, 0.1% lower. CPI, better than expected. Tesla pushing up towards 3% in pre-market. Market probably looking to recover. Iron not doing great, down 7% right now. But the rest of the market, I think, is looking a little bit better. Could we get a BTC pump? Yes, I think we could. We're nearing 110,000, so we could see some of that coming around. Again, this is good stuff, guys. This is good. This is what you want to see. This is what you want to see. This is great. Let's listen to Rick Schmantelli talk about this, and then we'll jump over and we'll listen to the rest of Tom Lee, and then we'll jump over and we'll probably look at that stock. If you guys have more information on that stock, the Smarter Web Company, let me know.
2.4, that is 1/10 hotter than our last look at 2.3. It equals the 2.4 in March. 2.8 was February. That's the higher number we're comping to. Finally, if we go year over year core ex food and energy, it's up 2.8, 1/10 lighter than we were expecting, equals where we were last month. 2.8 actually now is third consecutive month in a row.
Do we know if there's like a bunch of foreign transaction fees with that too?
If you want a smaller number than that, you're going all the way back to March of 21 when it was up 1.6. Now, I always like to look at the indices.
I think getting a little bit of cash never hurts, guys. It never hurts. I mean, if you just, we'll talk about that more in a second.
Indices go back quite a ways. If you look at CPI headline index, it goes back to 1913, and the number today, 321.465, might not mean anything to viewers intrinsically, but it is the highest level on this index ever, going back to 1913. That should mean something. And if we strip out the all-important food and energy, it comes in at 326.854. Once again, this number started out in 1957 on the core. It's never been higher. We see that the pre-opening equities, well, they have
I'm sorry, Unlock Real Estate said, Jesse Bro, when you think to take a pivot exit from the market, SPY at 6,500 or early or later. We love your insights on this. As you said, downfall is coming in the future. No, I didn't say that. Are we going to have a drop eventually? Yes, we're going to have a drop eventually. I actually said that I believe the S&P can go to 7,000 to 7,500. That's what I said. And again, I called the bottom down here based upon the fact that all these major tweezer bottoms over here, here, all led to more upside. And again, this is about as beautiful as it can get this is the S&P 500. This is about as good as it can get. It is literally like a COVID bottoming. And you can see what happened after that. So I'm more bullish than Tom Lee. Now, don't get me wrong, we'll have pullbacks, and I do think that you should take little bits of cash on days when you make a lot of money, and maybe today turns into one of those. If we continue to get more good news, we've got great news from Tesla. All the news from Bitcoin is just constantly good. We have the macro with China looking a lot better. We have inflation coming down. All these things are fucking beautiful, and the markets are going to love them and are going to probably do really well based off of them. I just encourage you, though, you do not, or you should, at least this is what I'm doing. And again, I can't tell you what to do. I'm just a guy in his basement. you should take little bits and nibble on days when you're just crushing it. What do I think of CRISPR? I don't know a lot about it individually. I know it's in ARKG, and I know ARKG was up almost 2% yesterday. I think it's up 1.78% today, and I think it can continue to go higher. Remind me to talk about it more later. But yeah, so I'm not bearish in any way. We are in greed though, and we could be extreme greed or touching it today. So it might be wise to remember that. That's my thought process. Okay. And so again, never hurts to nibble. I don't like going all in and all out though. I think it's crazy. Like if you gathered a 1% cash position today, a 2% cash position wouldn't be crazy. If you exited out of markets because you were afraid of a drop, that would be. Jesse dropped 400K into MSTX on the same day he called the bottom. Yes, and that turned out really, really well. And again, I called the bottom on Tesla recently too, perfectly. And I've made so much money since that happened. Let me check here real quick in pre-market. How is Tesla treating me today? Let me pull up my TSLL that I bought real quick, guys. And we'll just take a look here. So let me just pull this over and look at how that went in Robinhood. So I am up, since I bought this 2 days ago, I'm up almost 32%. And I've got more in other accounts. This is just showing what I bought in Robinhood, okay? But I'm up 32% on Tesla since Jeremy, who went full retard, told you to sell it all. Remember that? Remember that? Interesting. Probably not the right move. Real quickly, though, let's get back to FundStrat.
Send you that list if you need it. Mag 7 and Bitcoin.
And again, guys, show this man some love, okay? Show this man some love. Subscribe to FS Insight. If you go to the top pinned post in my profile and go down, if you can afford it, you should look at this every day. Maybe you don't need the crypto part. I think it's like 100, 150. And if you refer a couple of people and they're active, that lowers the amount you pay. I'm not even paying for this service because I have almost like 50 people that are actively paying for it. But if you get a couple, like I don't even know, it might be 10, then I think it's free. And so I don't even need to have more active referrals to get this thing free. I just want Tom Lee to have as many people subbing as possible. So do your part and help out the man. What do I think's happening with Metaplanet? Still holding for a pop? Yeah, totally, man. I think it's going up a lot. I think it's going up 204 to 400%. I don't know in pre-market right now. It was down 4.6% in Japan. Let me see what Germany looks like. Germany's down 3.81%. I think we're basically bottoming today. And so maybe we could fill that gap in Metaplanet. But I think after that, it doesn't really matter. We're going up again. And so there's this little gap over here. I don't even think we close it, though. I don't even know if we go back down to the 10, like under 10, frankly. We don't have to. The gaps over here, we don't have to. We don't have to. In no way. There's so many good things coming out of Metaplanet. We'll talk about more of that in a second. Okay. But let's get back to Thomas and then go from there.
Industrials, financials, and small caps. And you might wonder, did it make sense to follow this for the last 8 weeks? Well, Mag 7 has outperformed the S&P by 900 basis points, Bitcoin by 1,800. The washed out stocks that we talked about, pretty meaningful outperformance, 600 basis points. That's on top of a 20% move. And even small caps are beginning to outperform. And Mark Newton today talked about how small caps, he thinks, can make their way back to 245. I think it makes sense because Ethereum is breaking out. That's doubled from its low, and it's now above its 200-day. And again, I've talked about how crypto is a leading indicator for equities. And as you can see, that they've moved together, and I think that bodes well for upside for small caps. And we know Bitcoin has been a leading indicator for the S&P, making an all-time high at the end of May. And I think that means an all-time high for the S&P coming. So stay on target, and I'll speak to you soon.
Yes, sir. Love you, brother. And thank you for all of your support. I will support you to the nth and continue to. When Real Meat Kevin was shitting on him during the Japanese yen carry trade, and Kevin was saying, "Oh, Tom Lee's such a fucking idiot. The world is falling apart right now. You should be short. Tom's going to lose his shirt." I was there saying that Meat Kevin was an idiot, just like I'm saying Jeremy's an idiot right now. And it doesn't take a lot to understand that. All right, Peru. So the NASDAQ and S&P near their all-time high, yet positioning is still subdued, which is positive for equities. Peru also acted like a little bitch and said that he's exiting all of his Tesla. But I do like Peru, so sorry, Peru. If you ever watch this, probably not watching it, but if you do, I apologize for calling you a little bitch. I didn't actually say you're a little bitch. I just said you acted like a little bitch. because you took a very emotional stance and said that you would never own Tesla again, which is about the most asinine fucking thing I can think of. I'm up 30+% right now from when you said that. Thank you very much. Frank Curzio, why you're crazy to bet against stocks? Inflation is crashing. So I put out a request yesterday, guys, and said, tell me about the people that are great traders and investors that we should be following. This is one of them, and I appreciate whoever referred Frank in here because I do find him to be valuable. He said inflation is crashing. So look over here. You got the PCE year over year. And you got inflation is breaking down and going lower, and you can see the trend after being very high at a 2022, 2023, and now it's continuing to oscillate lower. We love that, right? And he says Powell term is up. So again, in May, we're going to assign a new Fed. I think that new Fed is also the Treasury Secretary, which is interesting. We've got less regulation coming. We've got more government spending and much lower taxes. Betting against this market is a fool's errand. And this is again Seth Golden, my other buddy here. Tom Lee knows talent, and so that's why he's retweeting Seth, another great person to follow, the one telling you about the short interest and how crazy it was. We've got Shay talking about U.S.-India near interim trade deal targeting first signing for fall of 2025. We've got Tom telling you why he thinks we're in a bull market. ISM still below 50, more consistent with early cycle. Housing deficit this cycle, 1.7 million shortage of homes past decade. So we still got a shortage of homes, even though people aren't buying. They're doing that because they can't afford to. But once the Fed lowers rates, which is coming, that is coming. Right now we can see, and let me just refresh to make sure that it's right. Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Joseph. Good morning, everybody. Is it time to freaking cut rates? It will be, Alex. It will be. It will be, which is good, right? We want that. So anyway, looking over here, we have target rate 400, 425, right? So it looks like the current is 425, 450, and it looks like September is the time still where we have 51% of cutting 25 bips and another 6.4 cutting 50. So I do believe that by September, little ways away from today, but again, not that far. I do believe we'll cut by then. And there's a 12.5% chance that we do it in July. And July, guys, is like 6 weeks away. Or I'm sorry, 5 weeks away. 6 weeks away. A little over 6. So, because that's July 30th. So I do believe that potential for July. But here's the thing. Slower isn't bad. It's not actually bad. With everything else we're doing to juice the economy in the big, beautiful bill, which we'll look at in a second here, I actually think July, even September is fine. I think September is fine. So anyway, NYSE FINRA margin debt declined $90 billion since January, not consistent with the top. In the double AAII sentiment, oh, I didn't mean to hit play. That sentiment, let me go back here. That sentiment is still pretty negative, and it's a really hated rally. Again, there's so many people. Think about all the people that just bailed out of Tesla that are trying to climb back in because they didn't make 33% like I have. And then again, the reverse Yellen fiscal dominance is a term you should probably Google if you haven't already. Bessent will be the king of the Treasury and the Fed. And if that happens, that's amazing. The Disruptor, this is another person that you guys recommended, I think. Oh, and I didn't add him. Should do that. He pointed out that the momentum shift in small caps. Oh, no, this one was from Tom Lee. He said the difference between the 52-week high low line and its 20-day moving averages has turned positive. So small caps, remember how Tom Lee a little over a year ago was talking about how you should get into small caps? It might actually be time. And again, we got Mark Newton, who is a part of FS Insight. We listened to him the other day. He just said that not many usually take the time to run demarc signals on weekly charts of many subsector relationships, but they were prescient again in showing the turn back higher in semis relative to tech and most software space at a time when many bears have been stubbornly underweight. So they're saying here in the SOX, that's again the semiconductor index, they're saying that this is looking like breakout and we're getting DeMarc signals, and that's a big deal. Alex, ARKG is moving a little. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll be pulling that one up too. It is in a breakout zone. I think we're getting close to it. Alex Garcia, Jesse, you said there's still a high short interest in Marcus. Is put call ratio high too? I don't know about put call ratio. We can check real quick. Let me pop over here real fast. Oh, I got to log in. 1 second here, guys. Let me just do this. I've got I've subscribed to so many fucking things I forgot. I've got crypto quant, guys. Did you guys know that? I subscribe to that. Very fascinating. All right, let me see here. So I don't know which one I'm in. I think I've got a Google sign in under this other one. Let me check real quick. While we're in here, though, let me just look real quickly at crypto quant. Oh, I think I got signed in. Did I get signed in? I did get signed in. All right, let me see. Put call. So if you look over here, though, guys, the thing I wanted to show right here is just that balance of Bitcoin on exchanges is retarded right now. I think that's what this is that Bitcoin exchange reserve, all exchanges going back to 2022. Look at this number. This is it's falling off a cliff. We literally have no Bitcoin left. I hope you guys realize that. Let me check the put call ratio, though. Let me see. Put. Here's the CBOE total put call ratio. I don't know if this is the all-encompassing one. It actually says that it looks lower. Put call ratio is lower. And again, this is just CBOE. I haven't used this much recently, so don't sue me, bro. I got to take a closer look at it. Bitcoin wanting to break out to 110,000, guys. Looks beautiful. Seems like the price would be rocketing, like 123,000 or something. BTC on OTCs, I believe. Yes, we're going to look at that in a second. Yes, that's actually, I believe, I think we're lower than that now. Okay, so we're out of U.S. economy. Let's actually jump over to Bitcoin and take a look at some of that. Oh, before we do that, let's jump over to Trump real quick. There's one thing I wanted to talk about. So there was a bill passed to prohibit non-citizens from voting in D.C. elections, passed the House yesterday. This literally, it had a 266 yay, 148 nay, bipartisan. This is as bipartisan as it gets nowadays, guys. Support towards not allowing non-American citizens towards voting. I think that's a really good thing. And then federal judge sides with Trump over Newsom, will not force Trump to withdraw National Guard or Marines. I think that's a good thing. And what should be happening. I'm not going to talk about all the noise and the riots. I believe that's going to get worse and then it'll get better. California, San Diego County, to remove 360,115 inactive and eligible voters, 109,000 pending on ongoing removals. So we could have 500,000 almost removals from the voter rolls, and we could be forcing California to ensure that they are actually checking IDs and doing everything. Otherwise, they'll lose government funding. So it's wild, guys. Jesse, do you like ASST as a Bitcoin proxy? I don't know if I do. We can pull that up and take a look, though. Yeah, anyway. That's all I wanted to talk about there. I don't want to get too deep in the noise. ARKG almost at break even. Jesse, should we sell half? Fuck no. You do you, Julian. I'm not remotely selling ARKG. ARKG is a story for me that goes out to 2027. I actually have calls that go out to 2027. So I personally know I'm not remotely looking to sell ARKG. ARKG is the thing. So the way I look at ARKG, guys, is, and let me just pull up the ticker real quick and we'll talk about it. So the way I'm looking at ARKG is that we're looking at a route that's happened for over 4 years. We're down right now to levels, we're down 78%, is that right? 78% still from the high 4 years ago. Plus, we hit the support line, again, resistance, support, temporary breakdown, wick up, kind of a tweezer bottom, breakout zone. Once we get up to the 26 range, which I think is in short order, and really more importantly, we get up to like 28. If we establish a base up here, guys, and then we have this breakout zone, this red trend line is resistance going back to April of 2022. Whoa, 3 years ago. A 3-year downward trending resistance line. When you break that bitch, it's off to 37. I make so much money at 37. It's ridiculous. So do I think about selling half? No, especially not with options. But you do you. Not everybody comes along for the ride. So you do you. I'm okay with that. Actually, the more of you that do sell, the better it'll be for me. So if you guys care about me, please sell. That would be appreciated. Nice. Failed bear moves become explosive moves higher. Yes, exactly. So that's what we're seeing here, and I love it. So I'm all about this move. Disease Kodak, great live so far, Jesse. Really enjoying it. Yeah, outside of not knowing where my microphone was or that I had one, it's been really good. Unlock Real Estate, huge shout out and thank you for your question to Jesse Monday. ABT exit from NVIDIA to TSLL. His response was very compelling. So I sold NVIDIA to buy TSLL. Whoa. And you bought KWM? I didn't know you did both of those, Scott. Damn, bro. You must be happy with your last 2-day return. That's great. Good for you, dude. I love seeing that. Can you rewind us which 2027 ARKGs? Yeah, if you're subbed, you can see it on Discord and on X. I can pull it up over here though, real quick. If I have, I'm not signed in. Just give me. Let me see here. Yeah, okay, so I'll show it to you. But again, just remember, if you guys all pile into the shit at once, it goes up a ton. So I don't recommend that at all. Options are not the same amount of volume as a stock, especially one like Tesla. So these are it, but I wouldn't pile in all at once. I found better results for most people when they wait and then do it later, because then it balances out. But like my January 2027s at a 40 strike, I think are cheap. They're worth $70,000 right now. I've been butchered on my January 2026s. I think these can still hit though. I'm down 341,000 on those. And then again, even the 48 for June of 2026, I think are really cheap. I think the chance of hitting 48, these are not big numbers, guys. If we jump up here and then kind of get up to this 37 level, all those contracts are going to explode. Again, my January 2027s are only a 40 strike. But some of these others that are like at 48 levels, they'll explode if we get up here to 37 because it's not much of a move. If you look here, the move from what will be resistance at the 38 zone to the basically my strike price is only another 25%. These are not big numbers. So this thing doesn't even have, so a 55% move probably makes me just make a shit ton of money off my calls. 10x maybe, maybe more. And then 100% move could get me like a ton too. So 100% move, 10x that, maybe more right now. If I get a 10x move on 100%, I don't know. Again, run the math, guys. You have the profit calculator for options. Make sure you understand options. God, do not get into options unless you watch my video and know what you're talking about. You will wreck yourself. But yeah, so I don't think it's crazy to get 100% move in ARKG. If you look over here, guys, we got a 400% move in ARKG from March of 2020, again, the depths of the pandemic, up to January of 2021. So in less than a year, this thing moved 400%. Now, again, that was euphoria, probably had a high NAV, all that stuff, right? That's net asset value, whether there's a premium or a discount to the underlying, since it doesn't perfectly track it. Right now, it's operating pretty much down the middle. But like CRISPR and a bunch of other companies are in here. I think these companies benefit greatly from AI. I think the narrative could be really strong. I think this thing doubling and going up 100%. If it goes up 100%, guys, if it goes up 100%, where are we at? We're still down 57% from where it was over 4 years ago. So you do you. I am not selling anytime soon. Anyway, so you got that message right now, right? I guess. Mucho Shekels said the Defense Logistics Agency Energy, on behalf of the Department of Defense of the Air Force, issued a notice of intent to award Oklo to build. Oh, wow. Cool. I don't know Oklo very well. Is that the energy company? Is that what we're talking about? Like a nuclear energy company to kind of probably maybe build energy resilience into military bases? Own and operate the Aurora Powerhouse. Oh, yeah. As a part of a nuclear energy pilot program at Ellison Air Force. That's great. Anybody in Oklo, congrats. I think Shay was probably one of the people pushing that. I got to listen to Shay more. Such a smiley motherfucker, that guy. Such a beautiful smile. Let's look at Shay, guys. Let's say hi to Shay. I think he was an Oklo guy. Can you guys tell me if he was Oklo? Look at this guy. Like one of the nicest smiles. I got like crooked teeth and shit. This guy and his hair. Jesus. Is he Italian? He's got to be Italian, right? Is he Italian? I don't know. But Shay's a good dude. I've actually watched him explode. I mean, he's like a regular on Fox News. I think is he Oklo too? I don't know. I thought he was. He's definitely done well on Nebius, NVIDIA, all those things. I don't know if he's talking. I don't know. You guys tell me if he was in on that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just promoting him for nothing. Value Maxi said, please hit the like button and show some love for Jesse. How hard it. Yeah, I do try and work hard for you guys. If you could, man. Again, if you guys could retweet. I put it over here. I'll make sure it's at the top. But if you guys could retweet my video for today and comments are huge, guys. If you take the time to like and comment with anything, I think I put it on here. Did I not put it on here? I thought I said, maybe I said, right up here. Yeah, if you guys could like and comment on this top part, not the bottom part where I ask you, I literally put in caps, the above link. Please, I'm not going to embarrass anybody here. Oh, it doesn't look like we have any under that, only one. But yeah, if you're going to comment, please comment here. Nobody comments. There's only 6 comments. If you guys comment under here, it is huge towards getting this out towards other people. I don't know how many people have told me that they didn't even know I had a YouTube channel, which is disturbing because they should know. They should know. And again, Bitcoin consolidating all right. Tesla still up 2.7%. Not really huge movement in pre-market with other stuff, guys. Even though I think those the CPI data was great. I don't know why people aren't enjoying it. But again, if you're worried about inflation, I think the chance of reductions in interest rates are getting better and better by the minute. So we'll see what happens. The markets have just run really hard too. They might be looking to take a breather. I wouldn't worry about it if they do. Let's see. KZIA. Please, what is that? I don't know. Yep. Yeah, he's Oklo. Okay, yeah, so I was giving Shay credit. So if you guys don't follow Shay, follow Shay. He's a good dude. Smart guy. And we love smart people. We try and affiliate ourselves with them as much as possible. Which is why I did that post yesterday asking about great traders. I did it so that we could share some of the love with other people. And then potentially, I mean, also in my own self-interest, because it makes sense for me to follow people that are great. It only makes me better. You know what I mean? So I don't understand people that are really petty. Tom Lee looking hair. Yeah, right. Tom Lee's got crazy hair. I love him. Shay is an EOC. Yeah, see, I've never liked EOC, but I know Jeff Lutz is in that too. Jesse has a YouTube channel. Yes, see, Les, I do. I have. I think today could be the last time Tesla is below 340. Yeah, so again, I talked about that in a post, guys. Let's real quickly jump over to that. And we could hit resistance here. That's possible just for over a short period of time. I think a little bit of consolidation right now does not hurt. But we are nearing that level, right? Here's where we are in the morning. We're nearing peak resistance. Might not be bad to take a little bit off the table, maybe try something new. But we're nearing peak resistance. If we don't... once we get up to like the 345, 346, if we can get above this fib level, and let me check this on the daily real quick. We can get above that fib level. No, it's about the same. Let me see what it looks like on the monthly. Oh, everything's beneath us. Look at the monthly, guys. Look at where Tesla, we're still a ways away, but look at the power of this wick. Probably one of the most prevailing wicks off of a what is essentially a tweezer bottom over here, right? A W bottom pattern. One of the most powerful wicks higher that we've seen in a very long time. If we get above the 345 and turn that into support, I told people this already, it's a very easy run to the 400 range. 427 is where we hit resistance on the .618, but otherwise we're testing up to the 500 range and new all-time highs. That is what's happening. When to roll ARKG January 2026 calls? I don't roll calls. People say that shit all the time. I don't do any of that. Am I holding any similar? No, I fully exited it. If you guys aren't a member on X, you should totally do that. If you just listen to me every once in a while on here, especially since I've lowered down the number of days where I do market opens to Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, potentially a Friday, but viewership is so low. I might even go to weekly at some point. You need to be a member on subs because that's where you see all my trading related data, right? So that's where you see my charts all together and like why I think there's the potential to close a gap on Metaplanet and whether or not I think we've already reached the bottom and whether or not I've sold out completely from similar. If you guys want that stuff, you need to sub in here. If you don't sub in here, then you're behind and you could be missing out on what I'm doing. And if timeliness isn't a consideration for you, then cool, it's not a big deal. But if you are concerned about timeliness, then you should be subbed to that because that's where you're going to get the greatest amount of detail, right? I got out of Oklo due to the lack of earnings. Oh, bummer. Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing. You never know, right? And again, so similar guys, real quickly. There's a Seeking Alpha article that shit on them. I put it for subs. I also put in a previous post, I don't know. Oh yeah, right here. This was yesterday morning. I said, I don't love this interview with the CEO of Simler, Eric Simler. There just doesn't appear to be a solid strategy to aggressively buy BTC. This might be due to the difficulties within the existing medical business, which includes recent lawsuits against them, as well as an investigation from the Department of Justice. Regardless, either way, it's just a little too much complexity for me. So I'm going to reduce my position by half tomorrow. And then after I read the Seeking Alpha article and after I just looked at it, I'm just like, fuck it, I'm out. I don't want to be a part of this. Hef, thank you for the 5 memberships being gifted here. You guys who just received those can talk in chat now and ask questions. I don't always answer them, but it's hard to keep up with everything. But yeah, so if you're a member on X, you get this. It's $5 a month. I feel like it's a great deal. But again, you don't have to do anything. You can get my portfolio allocation, my performance history. I give all that away for free, right? I give away YouTube videos for free unless you want to comment. Discord feels like homework to me. Yeah, some people don't like Discord. Discord, the only thing that's valuable with Discord, and again, you can get Discord for as low as $4 a month. You can get YouTube. Whoa, don't want to do that. You can get YouTube for as low as $2, so that's $6, right? And then you can get X for $5. So it's like $11 all in for me, which I don't think is crazy. But if you don't use Discord, then don't use it. The only thing I really like about Discord is my charts are in there, and I still have to add the ones from yesterday. But if you want to look at my historical trades, it's way easier to do in this. And then my historical balance information, it's way easier to do in this. And then again, like charts and stuff like that, you can jump in and see all of the charts for like popular stocks and all that stuff. It's in here. Even ones I haven't created, the community has created it, like Rocket Lab, Oscar, all these things are sitting inside of there. And again, Bitcoin and Tesla and all the others. Do you guys have Tesla at the top? I hope so. Current holdings. Again, look at all this. So this is a place where you can go. So like, look here, Chad's showing the GAN weekly and all this other stuff. Up here, you have my chart. So admin wife, my wife was nice enough to put this one in here. So if you want the latest version of my chart, you can go over here. I save these things all the time. You can see it, right? So I think that's where the Discord comes in. If you're not a community chat person, I get it. I don't really do that much either. But if you want to see charts and know where the current ones are and where I've saved them, then that's great. We actually need to move Simler out of that one. If anybody's in Discord, please do that. But yeah, so if you want to see my charts, you can get that stuff up here. If you want to see the trades and be able to go back and say, hey, has Jesse sold anything recently? This is the place to do that. So I think that's where that value comes in. Commenting on YouTube for $2, you get that. For $4, you get the historical stuff in the charts. And then for $5, you get the up-to-date information on here. And yeah, again, just whatever you want to do. Joined your X finally. Thank you, Hippie. Appreciate it. Mujib Malek. That's going to be a tough one for me. Let me know if I butchered it. STRD trading in NASDAQ today. Michael Saylor. Oh, really? Awesome, dude. I didn't realize that is available to us now. That's great. Mike said that too. Awesome, dude. Yeah, that's cool. Mike Lauk. Yeah, I'm not a Discord guy either. Yeah, it just depends on what you're looking for, right? If you want access to these things and you want to you want to be able to pull up my charts that I've just updated that I do whenever I'm in here and then also when I'm not, then I think that's probably more of the value. And then if you like chatting with people, great. I'm not a real like chatting on a community forum kind of person myself either. So I get it. Figure out what works for you guys. All right, real quickly, let's get back to some of the stuff that we were covering. Also, let's look at economic data. Are we seeing any more data today? Stocks, we don't care. Our inventory changes, don't care about any of that. Tomorrow, again, guys, PPI. So producer price index. Maybe people with CPI today aren't really feeling the excitement. But if producer price comes in lower tomorrow and jobs data looks okay or weaker, I don't know. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I think the narrative could be pretty positive, but we'll see. Again, just remember this, guys. We're in greed. We're in the middle of greed. Let's look at the timeline for how long we've been there. But I do want to reiterate this, okay? And let me go back over to macro trends because that's the better place to do it. Give me 1 second here. I got to use this more Fear. Let me just pull up fear. They even have like a little AI thing. I don't hate this at all. So the U.S. Fear and Greed Index, there's just one thing I want to point out going back a ways here. We'll go back to the beginning of time as far back as we can. So in red is where the stock market is at. But if you look at the CNN Fear and Greed Index, look over here, guys. Look at how long we're essentially right here, right? We're May of 2023. Look at how bullish we were all the way until July, the end of July. So May, June, July, 3 months. And then really, again, we dropped down over here and still into August. So 4 months of just sitting in outrageously high territory, crushing it into extreme greed. So it can go a lot higher. That's the one thing I want to warn you guys about. Jesse, do we need to be verified users on X? I can't comment. Yeah, you do. You do if you want to be able to comment on my posts on X. Sorry. Here's what I would love. And maybe I just do subs only. I've got 2,500 subs on X. Maybe verified. You know what? I'm going to change that. From now on, I think I can do this. Let me try it real quick. Let me see here. Comments, audience. That's for audience. This is for comments. All right, going forward, it's just subscribers on X. I think that makes more sense. I would like it. Here's what I would love. I would love for it to be subscribers or verified, but that doesn't exist. I'm not doing anything less than that because if you do everyone, it's fucking bots all the time and it drives me nuts. And I don't want to be hiding bot comments all the time. It's not worth my effort. So from now on, it's subscribers only. That's what makes sense, right? So if you subscribe on X, you shouldn't have to be verified on X to be able to comment on my stuff. So all future videos or future posts on X will be subscriber only. That makes sense. I don't even know why I was doing that. I should have thought about that because we have 2,545 people that are subscribing. You guys should have the ability to respond. That's stupid. So I apologize. Thank you for that. We have fixed that. CNBC's discussing quantum. Huh, interesting. Maybe we'll take a second to listen to that. I don't know if quantum's... So here's the deal. I actually think quantum is still a ways out, but I think these things could skyrocket. So it's kind of like do you want to be in a YOLO trade? I still believe we're years away from quantum computing being interesting. I don't think it's going to crack Bitcoin anytime soon. That narrative has come up since 2017. Ben sent posts to subscribers only. Yeah, that makes sense. I should be doing that. All right, real quickly, let's listen here. Oh, sound.
We'll take it till do we have to fight? When I say on the semiconductors, a lot of people feel it was Advanced Micro because they have a GPU. That's what you need. That's what NVIDIA has. And Advanced Micro's up a quick 10. Micron is high bandwidth. Yeah. That's also used for data center.
Yeah, he was talking about quantum all the time, and then eventually it just got crushed. So, I mean, again, you just have to be smart enough to understand that there's a lot of narratives that are out there, and some of them are not going to do very well. But quantum, I think quantum could run.
So that would be something we could give them. Sanjay Mehrotra's been very quiet.
Yeah, KWM could keep rocking. What is it at right now, did you say? I don't even have it in front of me. Oh, I put it back up here. Let me see. Yeah, pushing up. So again, it's up 40%. 40% really from when I sold out, roughly. So it's went up even more. And this thing could continue to go, but just remember what you're buying. A 3-person company in the Cayman Islands that does K-pop in South Korea that has no revenue whatsoever. So just remember this. It's a YOLO trade. It's trying to make some money. It's a company that's already a $450 or $61 million market cap, probably closer to $500 million today, and that's the issuance I think they talked about doing. I think you're coming at the ass end of it, and you're probably going to get fucked. But could it go higher? Sure. I actually would feel better about similar right now than I would that. So, the Smarter Web Company, again, what do we know about this company? Can anybody tell me more about this company? I'm going to look at news-related events here. Smart Web Company, retail offering, accelerated work buyout. What is this ticker normally? I'm going to look this up on X. real quickly here before we go further down other stuff. What's the ticker again, guys? Is it WSC or something? Let me just do this. The Smarter Web Company. Oh, I didn't type that right. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm going to follow these guys. It's tiny, it looks like. Web Design Development Company. Let's see what they have for news. Nothing stops this train, says Felix. Mission 100 what? Bitcoin? That's their mission, 100 Bitcoin. Smarter Web Company needs you. Wow, they're getting some marketing out there from all these guys, huh? Latest table, Smarter Web is now 66 global Bitcoin treasury. 66. There's 66 of these now, guys. Some of these will die. Hey, Jesse, can you look at MATAF, like the MATPLF of Canada trading? We got a Canadian one now, too. Jesus. It's going to be really hard to keep up with this shit, and I don't know if it's going to be worth it. 75%. Just remember what you have, Dario. Remember, like, it might not be a good idea. So this is the Matador company. It's up 306% in 30 days. That's interesting. I'll try and make a chart out of it, but I don't think I'm going to spend too much time on it today. Let me see though real quickly. I was doing research on that other one. It was the Smarter Web Company. I don't know if they have like real news. What was their real news? Can anybody tell me about the SWC one? Can anybody tell me about that? Like, I'd like to understand it better. Here it is. Let me see what we have for news-related events. Smarter Reg Company Holdings. Let's see here. SWC IPO at 350, now at 120p. Once retail pours into BTC, it's going to be wild with all these micro treasuries. Yeah. But I don't know if all of them perform well, and some of them might really have their NAV crushed. So just remember that. Offering accelerated book build at minimum 3 million. Holdings at fund. They purchased 8.6 Bitcoin at their 10-year plan. You got the wrong chart. It's SWC. Yeah, no, but this is an OTC. This is an OTC. If you want to buy this in America, you're not doing it through that, okay? So I'm looking at the OTC, just to be clear. It's not the wrong chart. It's just where I'm looking. Because if I was buying, this would be the one to buy. Market cap is 10 million. That's a super low number. Not a lot of volume in this one in the OTC in the United States. And let me just do this. I'll save this one and then I'll make a copy and I got to share too. I got to add these. I'm going to try and get better at adding these. WSC, is that right? Is it WSC? What was it again, guys? Or SWC? Thank you. So we'll look up this chart too. We'll look at the one because we want to see how much it's already run, right? Nope, I did that wrong. SWC, my bad. Dyslexia. All right, so this thing's already run a decent amount. Let's keep that in mind. This thing started in May 2025. It started off at $4. It's 118. Wow. It says it's a market cap of 7.33 million in here. No revenues to speak of. Probably just massive amounts of share dilution. Let me see something real quick here. SWC. Don't even have it on market trends. If you guys have more good sites for this company, please let me know. I might try and buy some of this in OTC, but it would be good to know more about the company. More about the company, not just like pump shit. Let me see here. Bullish. This is June 10th, London. Smart. All right, so I'm going to post this. Buys 45.32 Bitcoin for its treasury. So just yesterday, they bought another 45 Bitcoin, boosting total holdings to 168. So 168, let me do some back of the math. 168 times, what are we at right now? Let's just say 110,000. So that is 18.48 million in just Bitcoin holdings. Let's have some fun today. Team, 12 out of 13 of my positions are green in pre-market. Wow. Congrats, Scott. Good stuff. Yeah, Tesla, TSLL is up 5.57%. Again, I might sell a little bit of that in pre. We got 15 minutes until the market opens. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play out some CNBC and, MSNBC. And then go to the bathroom real quick and grab some more coffee. You guys stick around for a bit. We'll watch market open. Give me 1 second here. Let me see. I think that's open. Let me see if these guys are coming back. Are they coming back? Are they coming back? They should be coming back. So this is the commercial break. It looks like it's almost done. I'll wait a second. I got to pee, but I'm going to wait. You know what? I'm probably not going to. You guys stick around for a second, okay? This is going to do the little thing. Stick around for a second. And we'll go from there. Do we really only have 724 people here today? We got to 962. Huh. People aren't watching my videos. Interesting. Whatever. Maybe I'll do this once a week. If nobody's coming, I'll just do it once a week. Let's have some fun today. Andy Smith says they have 12 million cash ready to spend from last raise. Okay, cool. Polly, thank you for becoming a member. Let's go. Hey, what's up, buddy? Gemini Knight, I'm watching. Good. All right, so real quickly, guys, don't go away just because I turned this on this video. I'm going to leave it on this so you guys can see them when they come back from their commercials. It should be 1 second, okay? Should be 1 second. I'll be right back.
$5,100.
Elon Musk walking back his criticisms about the president on social media. Overnight on X, he posted, quote, "I regret some of my posts about President Trump last week. They went too far. As you may recall, their differences over the tax and spending cuts bill extended into some back and forth responses on social media about other issues." Meanwhile, Jim, Tesla's going to go for 4 days higher today. It's up 17% since Friday.
We got a lot of downgrades, and it visibly stuck. It didn't go down, and then it went up 10%. I'll give you a good example. Guggenheim has a sell on it today. If I crossed out the word sell and I read it, I would be buying. I mean, it's that positive. It's about robotaxi, and it's about the total addressable market. And initially, Tesla won't do that well. But I've got to tell you, I would never sell Tesla in this. And then Piper Sandler with just a few bullet points about why it's going to be fantastic. Driverless Teslas have been spotted in Austin. Of course, he's walked back when it's going to be. But I continue to believe that you've got to own the stock.
Yeah, Piper's point is that actually higher car prices will drive the market for robotaxis.
I got a kick out of reading it, but the fact is, David, stock's bottom, and now you're talking about, take a look.
This was just last week after the posts. You were saying, I don't think you can own it.
370. It's at 3. I caught 60 points.
It's okay. All right.
What do you want from me?
I want answers is what I want.
Yeah,
I want
you know what? Maybe we should look at that right now. They're talking about how Musk regretting saying all the negative things he said about Trump. I think that's probably a good move. Kramer's bullish, so maybe we're getting a downturn, guys. Perfect time. Let's jump real quickly. Oh, I should repost this. Do I want to repost this? Oh, I did. Okay, good. All right, let me go over here. And again, if you guys end up buying that in chat, do it in small amounts, man, because you can drive that price up really quickly, or other people can. So just watch what it's up today, because it can move a lot. It's very low volume. All right, let's go to Tesla real fast. John Frank, 199. Hey, man, any thoughts on TLT? I think TLT is going to struggle. It's up today. It's just not going to perform like Bitcoin, so I'm not even remotely interested in it right now, and I don't think you need a hedging strategy with TLT. Originally, I said, hey, if Doge does an amazing job, then we'll see this thing bounce like crazy. Doge did a pretty good job. But again, and I'm just going to take this out of here, and this thing is beat up. It's really beat up, right? For bonds, for the 20-year bond, to be down 52% is huge. It's a big deal. So, and again, it's near historical lows. Can it go a lot lower? Is downside risk low? It's probably low, but upside is probably not great anytime soon. I would much rather be in a Bitcoin-related investment. If we do a good job getting our economic house in order and doing what Scott Bessent talked about, outgrowing our debt, which a lot of people don't believe is even possible. Again, Lynn Alden, nothing stops this train. But if we do a good job of that, and it starts to look like we're gonna make headway there, then TLT becomes more interesting. At like, if the markets have exploded higher and you've made so much money you don't know what the fuck to do with all of it, I think TLT becomes more interesting, along with maybe like Stride and Strife and some of these other things, along with cash, just collecting interest in a money market account. So again, if you want to find a little bit of safety later on, it wouldn't be crazy. And these things could be some income generators for people that want to retire or that are retired, like moi. But I don't love it right now. I don't think it's going to be opportunity cost because you're missing out on other great opportunities. All right, so real quickly, let's jump over here. Did we do Bitcoin all the way? I don't even know if we did Bitcoin all the way. We didn't. Probably going to that, and then we'll go into Tesla too. Math 2, $13.99. Thank you, sir. Buying extra weekly shows. All right. I'll try. I could do the Monday through Friday thing probably. Yeah, we'll see. I'll try. I might do that. If you guys support me, I'll probably do that. Jake, and plus I think the algo requires it, and I don't want people to miss out on this. I feel like, again, you can watch Amit. I love Amit. I actually think he's great, but I don't think you're going to get the level of specific insights that you'll get from me. I just don't. And even though I think he's wonderful, I think I provide a unique value, more so than him. But I'm a lot fucking older than him, and I've been doing this a long time. Jake, my buddy Jake, he said Bitcoin. This is what's happening, and I agree with this. I 100% agree with this. Ukraine introduces Bitcoin reserve bill. I don't care if you're pro Ukraine or pro Russia. Don't really give a shit. I think the war needs to stop because people are dying. But this is amazing. New bill proposes the creation of a Bitcoin strategic reserve, giving the central bank full control over if, when, how much Bitcoin they hold. I think that's great. More countries should be doing that. Martini Guy, Japanese public company Remix Point, announces it bought 50 Bitcoin. Again, more treasuries coming online all the time. Europe's first Bitcoin treasury firm, the Blockchain Group, wins shareholder approval to increase capital raising capacity to over 10 billion euro to acquire more Bitcoin. Did you guys get that? Did you notice that? 10 billion? What the actual book? Peter Thiel-backed crypto exchange Bullish files for U.S. IPO. More IPOs. Remember how I told you guys months ago when we were near the bottom that I thought we would see an explosion in the IPO market eventually, and that would be a great sign that we were heading into a bullish market? Are you guys seeing some IPOs? I'm seeing some IPOs. And Peter Thiel, kind of a badass. Stone, thank you for becoming a member, my friend. Gnome, don't forget to hit the like and comment now that Jesse opened up non-verified accounts, please. Yeah, I have to do that on new posts. So if you guys could do that in X with new posts, if you're a sub, comment on stuff. That's really helpful. Because if verified technically could be a bigger pool. I don't know. Maybe it's a lesser pool. But if you guys could, that's greatly appreciated. Matt, $14.99. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, too. Any thoughts on SBET? I don't even know what that is. Theo, CRWV versus NBIS. CoreWeave went on an epic run. NBIS will ride the tide. Yeah, it's possible. I probably haven't been spending enough time on Nebius and CoreWeave. I probably should spend more time. It's just there's only so much time in the day. If you guys know really good experts, always let me know who the best of the best are with any stock that you're bringing up. I think that's really important. But let's keep going. So Death Cab to Cutie. I see what you did there. Great band. Let's look at this. This is amazing. Retail FOMO. Institutional structural bid. I agree with this. We have not seen any FOMO. We got a lot of charts to look at. I still think we could see FOMO. Maybe that gets us up into the 200s, 300,000 range. It's possible. I mean, those are my high targets. Tour de Meester, he's kind of an OG. He says, in my opinion, people misinterpret this chart as bearish. This cycle, for the first time, the buying is starting not from retail, but from slow-moving institutions. Oh, what? You mean like this institutional structural bid? Yeah, I would agree with that. And once retail catches on, Bitcoin can cut through other halving precedents like a knife through butter. I agree with this. I actually agree with this. I think this is right. We got Michael Saylor saying something about shorts getting liquidated. If this doesn't give you confidence on your investment, I don't know what does. The only thing I'm going to change about this is the 1.25x because I can't listen to things at 1x. It hurts my brain.
Michael, it's great to have you with us. We have a lot to talk about, and one of those things is a recent call from Jim Chanos. Of course, he's a legendary short seller. He came out recently and said, basically, buy Bitcoin, short strategy shares. And
Really?
just to set the scene here, I'm curious what you make of that.
Pulley.
You know, I don't think he understands what our business model is. We're actually the largest issuer of Bitcoin-backed credit instruments in the world. So last week, we just raised $1 billion by selling a preferred stock, non-cumulative, called Stride. That means we basically borrowed money that we never have to pay back, that we pay a dividend on, but we could suspend the dividend if we needed to. So Jim has been thinking that we somehow needed to sell the equity. We now are in a situation where we have Strike, Stride, and Strife.
They never have to sell the equity, is what he's telling you. And they can always pull the NAV from a negative number, like Simler was dealing with, to a positive number. They can always do that.
3 publicly floating preferred stocks that are not dilutive to the equity. They all meet a different market requirement.
Right.
That $110 million of Bitcoin we bought last week, that was acquired without issuing any common stock. So what's going on here is that we're using our $60 billion of Bitcoin collateral to issue credit instruments. They never come due. There's no liquidation risk. There's not even an interest rate risk, right? It's a non-cumulative preferred, and we could suspend the dividends.
Right.
So at the end of the day, if he's lucky enough to short the stock below 1 times NAV, we're going to issue the preferreds, buy back the stock, and make money for our shareholders. If the stock trades at a weak premium, we're just going to sell the preferreds. And if the stock rallies up, he's going to get liquidated and wiped out.
Well, let's talk about that premium, because that is the heart of his short call on strategy, as you point out here. So he said recently on a podcast that shareholders are paying around $220,000 for Bitcoin that trades at $110,000, but the company is doing everything it can to close that spread. Which
this same dipshit bet against Tesla, and now he's betting against MicroStrategy. He's just going to get destroyed.
is great. There's a catalyst. So he's referring to the fact that you are
ASST, yeah, we'll try and look at that. Give me a sec. We got about 4 minutes until the market opens.
selling your own shares and buying Bitcoin. But when it comes to the premium that strategy shares enjoy over the price of Bitcoin itself, do you think that that's sustainable? The fact that, like he points out, that basically the value of your company is trading at twice that of Bitcoin itself.
What he still doesn't understand is we're not a holding company or a closed-end trust. We're an operating company. So when we issue, trust can't leverage the Bitcoin. They can't issue preferred shares. They can't issue permanent shares of equity at a premium. We can. Our company's generated a BTC dollar gain equal to about $8.4 billion
Chanos is so dumb.
in the first 2 quarters of this year. That's the equivalent of earnings for a Bitcoin treasury company. Our target for the year is $15 billion. And so he's valuing the business that's generating $8.4 billion of shareholder value at zero. And he's hoping that somehow the equity will trade to NAV. But what he's not paying attention to is if we can issue preferred shares that yield 10% and invest it in Bitcoin, which has been going up 57% for the past 4.5 years, we're capturing the 47% arbitrage effectively risk-free for our common stock shareholders. And if you want to value the company, you have to value the company's ability to generate Bitcoin yield or Bitcoin gains over and above.
So again, this is basically Saylor saying that Chanos doesn't understand it and they're going to liquidate all of them. Real quickly, so I'm sorry, Math 2, what do you mean ASST equals Strive equals dead treasuries consolidator? What do you mean by that? Can you clarify that a little bit? Yeah, I'd be curious to know. Real quickly, pessimists sound smart, optimists make money. Yeah, that's true. That's why my returns look so good. Dario said, quick question, when you sell a stock. Oh, and somebody said that they still can't comment on my post. You can't yet. It's future posts. You have to set them individually. So I'll be setting mine to subscribers only for comments instead of verified. So if you're a subscriber, you'll be able to post on future posts. And that will be all of the way I'm setting all of them, just to be clear. Dario, quick question. When you sell a stock, you always do it in 15 minutes after market open? No, I don't. I just do that sometimes because we talk things out and I tell you guys what I'm planning on doing and then I do it. I don't care much about, I'm not a day trader. So I don't care much about hitting the perfect timing of something in and out. It's more about like a swing trade move, or maybe like I see something imminent. I don't care much about what happened. I'm not looking at 1 minute tickers. I don't give a shit about any of that. So that's just it. I do it when I do it. Gemini Knight, ASST will be failing companies to gather. Will buy failing companies to gather Bitcoin for a discount. Interesting. Huh, I might have to check it out. That's interesting. They're looking for zombie companies. Okay. To part them out or what? S. Romani. Jesse, can you do TA at Iron? It's a good... Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that one's dropping because they're this right here. Iron announced plans to offer $450 million convertible senior notes due to 2029. So again, not due until 2029 with an additional $50 million option for initial purchases. I don't know what the details were. Do you guys know what the percentage is on that? It's probably not 0%. I don't know if they have the ability to do that the way that others do. We can pull that up though. And yes, we can look at Iron in regard to TAs. So let me just do this. I'm going to kill this. So it looks like I did call this running pretty much the way it's ran. And it's down today. It's finding good support right here, the first fib level. So I actually think that's good. Oh, we got the bell opening, guys. Let's real quickly pull some stuff over and take a look at that. And, I didn't do the ding, ding, ding. So let me just back out the truck, get our ding, ding, ding.
It's time to be exiting, is it not?
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe the market should be dramatically higher. And then we've got an IPO that's a defense-oriented rocket company. I mean, happy days.
Let's get the opening bell in the CNBC real-time exchange. And the big board, it's space and defense company Voyager Technology celebrating an IPO today. We'll talk with the CEO in about half an hour.
That will be great. That will be great, that interview.
At the NASDAQ, celebrating an IPO, Blue Water Acquisition Corp. As we get some breath filling in. Jim, do you favor smaller cap names after the print today?
Well, I think it's really easy to say that because I was really flummoxed last night. I've been getting a lot of smaller cap, not any larger cap during the lightning round. It's clearly where people want to go. People do want to find the next NVIDIA. It may not be out there because NVIDIA is really pretty special. But I don't blame anyone for hunting. It's a very 1990s-like market. Last night I spoke with Chuck Robbins. He is positioning himself as being now the backbone of the internet with AI. And it reminded me very much about John Chambers being the backbone of the internet. And you began to get Cisco having its big move. But you also know, Dave, remember the customers.
Just checking a few things.
The customers of Cisco, the telcos. It's got a little telco feel to it, I think.
So you think there's a lot of momentum?
Remember, it lasts for a long time. The Copper Mountains last for a long time.
Yep.
And people make a lot of money, and then they end. And all we can do is help people realize that not all of these companies are created equal. Some are more equal than others.
So Tesla,
Cisco's had a
doing
very
all right.
strong year in the market now.
Market's starting to come up.
Some 41%.
Well, he talked to you about having both networking and security, which he argues not all of his rivals have.
No, I don't know if we have a clip, but I thought it was really, I think it's now I'm putting it as the cheapest AI story there is. It's a combination of Splunk and the traditional Cisco. Do we have anything?
1 second,
We
guys.
do. We do have some sound of Chuck Robbins with Jim. Take a listen.
We released a generative user interface today where you can make queries and actually build real-time dashboards, and they're querying Splunk, they're querying the traditional network technology, and the whole vision was that we could bring all that to life in an easy way for our customers, and we launched a major part of that today at Cisco Live.
See, it's interesting, Carl. In the old days, there would be 15 companies that followed Cisco, and they'd all raise numbers on this. Now it's not like that because Cisco is large cap, and people want to know, should I take a shot at GitLab down here? Is it time to buy Datadog? This may be the moment for Oklo, David. I don't know.
You don't know.
I said I don't know.
Okay, I'm just
the value added of you saying I don't know.
I have told you numerous times. I'm here to repeat what you say back to you. That's my role.
I am a robot. I repeat what I say. Oh,
Although,
good.
Here,
How much do you cost? $65,000?
I will come up with a new idea for you. Well, not new idea. This Talon Energy today was actually looking up a lot in the pre-market, not up much now at all, but they signed another deal. This is all part of our continued coverage of AI in so many different ways, whether it's NVIDIA or whether it's OpenAI or whether it's power for the new data centers that have yet to be built but are going to be by the likes of Amazon, which has committed, what, $20 billion to the state of Pennsylvania. Well, you need
that's the belt.
You need power
Pittsburgh
for
belt.
that, don't you?
Pittsburgh belt.
And they signed a new deal, new power purchase agreement with Amazon, that is Talon.
I came out hard in favor of them
almost 2,000 megawatts at their Susquehanna site. Amazon Web Services. They deliver by 2032 through 2042.
Right,
So again, these are long-term plans, long-term projects.
I want to look at that
but
Ethereum
of course,
one,
you
so I might
need
buy
the
some of
power
that.
to power all the stuff that's
I'm
going to
also
be
buying a little
creating
bit of
this
that,
age of abundance that is apparently coming.
I'm talking over this. It's probably pretty dumb. I'm also looking to buy some of those contracts for what is it called? TSWCF. I'm gonna buy that one as a YOLO. So I put in. I'll show that trade here in a second. I should probably get that ticker up on my screen here. So it's already up 15% in trade. Some people bought this thing at 185. I did not. Thank God. I got it lower than that. I probably got it in an average like 1.69, which is right where it is. Still up a lot, though. Could close this gap. Might buy more if that happens. Again, this is 100% a YOLO trade. I want to be clear on that. This is not anything that somebody should put a lot of money into unless they want to lose it all. The fees I paid were exorbitant. It was $100 for each block I bought, and you're limited sometimes on the block. The exchange I have limits it to $10,000 for OTC. It kind of sucks. I need to switch to a different one. This is the TSWCF, but watch out, guys, because again, other people are doing this too. So you want to watch out. You don't want to get too crazy with it. I'm going to set another order, but I'm going to set it at a lower return in case it gets filled. But I don't really care too much either way. Oh, and I should probably maybe make that one 6. Again, it's one of those things where make sure that it's for a value that you're willing to. And short term, you could totally lose money. I think you could. I think this thing could drop because again, it could still fill here too at like the 160 range. I don't think that would be crazy at all for that to happen. I'll probably just so I can get. Can you even do like 161? Is that an increment that it'll even let you do? It will. Okay, that's cool. Maybe I'll do that. I'll do like a little bit of that. Sorry, just 1 second. I'm trying to close this out. All right, there we go. I got another order in for a lower number. To be patient, don't all rush into this at once. If you end up doing it, you'll end up getting fucked. Trust me. Sometimes when people buy, I don't think volume's that high. It's only 170,000 for volume right now. No, I'm just buying it. I just bought it. I have. Let me just show you. 1 second. If this comes up. So I just bought it down here, and I probably overpaid for it. 38,500. Again, it's bidding up, guys. It's already up 20% today. This is a company that's aggressively buying the Smarter Web company. It could end up being great. The company doesn't really look like it has revenues. The only thing I like about this company is that it's a pathetically small market cap. So if they use that same formula, it says 12.34 million in the United States, but I don't know. That could be a disparity between the two. I'm not sure. Maybe this one is operating at a premium. What I see from the UK yesterday is that this thing is a 7.33 million. So very low market cap. Very, very low market cap. Bozo 10NY. I tried to buy it yesterday. Couldn't at my exchange. Good luck to all. Yeah, I don't know. You can't get it. You for sure, guys. You cannot get it on what am I trying to say? You can't get it on regular markets in the United States unless you're going OTC. So SWC is if you're in the UK. TSWCF is if you're in the United States. Not all brokers have it. Robinhood probably isn't doing a lot of these Bitcoin ones. I just don't think they are. You guys need a regular exchange. Again, I think Vlad has too much trauma. But watch out, too, guys. Stride's already up almost 6%. Woof. This thing's already up 20%, though, guys. So, again, I don't know. It's up to you. I don't know if it's going straight up. Just watch it. It's already up 20% today. That's an easy drop. Oh, now it's down to, it's only up 16. So, again, I've got another order down here at a much lower level. Just don't be too crazy with stuff. Remember that it's a super, super micro cap. This could be a fraudulent company. I have no idea. It's just a super small cap. Now it's up 26%. So who the fuck knows what's going on with this? It's all over the place. Now it's up 16%. So again, there's a lot going on here. KWM, that Korean one, is down 2% in pre-market. Cypher, Soul Strategies, is down 2.62. Metaplanet's down 2.74. Nothing crazy here, guys. CleanSpark's down 1%. Mara's down 0.7. I think this all makes tons of sense. Oh, I got a coffee I got to grab. One second. Okay. Sorry, my wife brought me coffee and I forgot about it. Bitcoin's looking strong. I don't know why the market isn't going up. I'm in SBIT with y'all for a little trade. SBIT, I haven't even looked that up. Let's look at that too, okay? Open layout. No, I need to copy it. But watch out with this one. Again, only up 16% now. It is all over the place. Very low volumes. Oh, you know what I'm going to do, though? I'm going to post about this one. Let me see. What is that called? TSWC WCF. Dunk. I should probably put down that I bought this. All right, and then I'm going to do this real quickly here. All right, 1 second here. I'm just going to put... all right. Let's see. Subscribers. Only subscribers can reply. I'm actually going to put this out to everyone. No, not going to do that. Subscribers only. I shouldn't give trades like that. Plus, it's a trade confirmation, so I don't want to put that out there. All my options contracts just went to 0 again. I really hate this company. This company. So every once in a while, guys, this happens where it just shows everything at 0. And it's frightening as hell. It used to give me a heart attack. I used to hyperventilate a little bit, but it's not real. But it's just so uncool. So uncool. I really need to get like interactive brokers or like Schwab. I do have a Schwab account. I just need to maybe move some funds around anyway, just to kind of balance things better. If you guys didn't know this, you're only insured for like such an amount across your investment portfolio. So it's good to divvy it up into multiple different companies so that you can protect yourself from downside risk. I remember years ago during the Great Financial Crisis when some of them collapsed. Some exchanges and people lost a shit ton of money. Not cool. Not covered by FDIC, guys. Marty Cohen, K&W, started their BTC treasury. God, you guys have so many of these. It's hard to keep up. Hard to keep up, guys. All right. Let's see here. Just came home from trade school. CPI came in bullish, right? Yep, 0.1% lower for core and regular. It was a good number. 250 to 400,000 for FDIC insurance. Yes, for FDIC, but that's for like checking and savings accounts. Insurance for, let me just pull this up real quick. What is the insurance amount that is usually covered for investment accounts. All right, let's look here. SIPC is it says, however, there are circumstances which investors are covered for more than 500,000. So you need to confirm with your exchange. But 500,000 and up to 250,000 in cash, that's not a lot of insurance coverage, right? It's not a lot. If you're a multimillionaire, that's not super great. So I've been trying to spread out more. It's why I have a Hood account. It's why I have Wells Fargo. It's why I have a bunch. And some of them are better, though. Even if exchange collapse, your stocks are yours. Options risky. Options. Yeah. No, that's a good point, Silas. Good point. And here's the thing. I think that problem goes away. Here's what I think. So Silas has a good point. I think that problem goes away if we have tokens. So if they start to do what Vlad's talking about, where they tokenize stocks, that token could be transferred somewhere else, just like you do with Bitcoin and your own hardware wallet. So I think the exchange-related risk in the future is going to go away. All right, let's keep going, though. This person put, I finally figured out why it's so hard to get my friends and family to buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin is everything people don't know about computers combined with everything they don't understand about money. John Oliver. So this is why, guys. This is why it's so difficult to get people to understand. Michael Saylor says, tells Bloomberg it's going to 1 million and that there will never be another crypto winner. Let's listen to this. I actually agree with this. I think it's changing. Now, that doesn't mean we can't have a 50% route. I think that's possible. But you're going to have all these exchanges and all of these investment companies buying those dips. Let's listen.
Assets. Kentez at CFTC feels the same way.
Wow, that's not very loud.
The banks are going to custody Bitcoin. Bitcoin has gotten through its riskiest period. The accounting has been corrected. There's now
Texas stock exchange would be great. The volume on this is horrible, so I'm not going to play it. I'm going to keep going. Europe's MicroStrategy blockchain group votes to sell stock 10 billion. That's just such a huge number. That's another one that I should probably look at buying. What was the ticker on that one? Let me see if I could find it. I put it out here somewhere. Where is it? And then we'll go back. There's Cooler. I don't know where I put it. Do you guys know that ticker for Alt BG? That is the OTC for the United States. Do you guys know what that was? Let me know if you do, please. Jesse, my 88-year-old father just read the Bitcoin Standard and is considering buying Bitcoin to pass down to his kids. The boomers are banging the drum. That's awesome. If you got time, could you take a look at Leaps on TSLL? Oh, God, that's scary as fuck. No, I won't. I don't love that at all. You could make a ton of money from it, but you're basically, if you trade sideways for a while, you are absolutely fucked. So I don't love that in any way. That scares the shit out of me, bro. The shit out of me. Doing leaps on something that's a 2x daily fund is either going to be beautiful or horrible. BCHXF. That's the one I'm looking for. Super curious about how that one's doing. Let me see here. I'm going to make a copy of this real quick. BCHXF. Let me find this real quick. Did I already put that in here? Maybe I did. BCHXF. Nope, I didn't. I need to put all these tickers in today, guys. I'm going to try and do that. I've got so much going on, but I'm going to try and get this stuff going because I think it's really smart to do. BCHXF. This is why I love chat, because I don't have to remember everything. I don't have to be the smartest person in the room. I try to be, but I don't have to be. Is this one still not live? I still don't show this trading. Is this tradable, guys? Or do you know when it's going to be tradable? Let me see here. BCHXF. HXF. I see it on my exchange, but I don't see the ticker. Why don't I see the ticker? Can you guys tell me? Oh, it says 0. It's not live. Do you guys know when this becomes live? Does anybody know? Otherwise, I'll have to look it up. SBET is treating you well today. Up 12%. Is that one an OTC or is that a tradable? Oh, it's tradable. Okay, I like that. Let's see here. I'm going to check something real quick here. Oh, sorry. Let me close this real quick. OTC. Okay, cool. I might have to free up more money in my main account. The problem is I'm not selling MetaPlanet. I'm not doing it. I could, but I just don't want to. Maybe on an up day. What was that ticker? SBET? What is SBET? Is SBET the one that has the treasury for whatever? Let me see here. Wow, it's a lot of money. Oh, we are currently not accepting market orders. Oh, it's an OTC. God, so many fucking OTCs, yo. I hate that shit. I hate that shit. So many OTCs, bros. So many. Why? Why is everything OTC? You tell me why. You tell me why. All right, maybe I'll get that one too. Let me see here. Probably will. All right. Got to track so many things. MetaPlanet is your mama. Master is your daddy. Yeah, I look at MicroStrategy is the large cap and MetaPlanet is a small cap. That's the way I look at it. So Similars down another 1.7 today. Really don't love that one. Let's see here. I'm going to pull up some of these others. And BCHXF does not exist yet. Market is weird today. Nice CPI rating and it's pretty much all bumpy. Yeah, let's listen to the news for a second. I don't really get that. But again, market can be weird in the morning and change over time. I'm going to hit live here. I'm going to turn this on to where we can hear them in a second. Bitcoin, though, is pressing right up. Guys, if you look at the bottom corner, Bitcoin's pressing right up against resistance, still looking really, really good. Let me do this. I'll bring up the heat map here, too, while we're sitting here for a second. I'm just going to see if my other order went in. What? What is showing down so much today? Weird. My total gain loss doesn't make any sense, but whatever. I have a position in ARKG. Cool. All right, I SBET. That's another one that went up. I don't know. Interesting day today. We'll see. See what all happens. I'm probably I'm excited about MetaPlanet. I think it's going to do really good. Maybe I'll sell just like a nibble off just a little bit. It's down 3%. Oh, I know it's going to do good though. So I'm going to hate myself a little bit for this. But again, I do have a shit ton. I have 16,300 or 163,000 shares. Would selling one be the end of the world? I don't know.
Say and Peacock.
Busy day for the Treasury Secretary today on Capitol Hill. Next hour, he is set to testify on the budget before House Ways and Means. After that, he'll appear before Senate Appropriations, but you might expect some questions about this framework, this refresh of a framework regarding the U.S. and China, having come back from London a little before talks ended. For now, muted open, S&P's up 4 points. Stay with us.
Yeah, sometimes they get weird. Sometimes they get weird and then they come back. Options do that. Options are really weird in the morning, especially depending on your exchange. You just have to go with it sometimes. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to sell MetaPlanet today. I'm just not going to do it. Oh, maybe I did sell some. Fuck. I didn't mean to. Don't sue me, bro. Vince, don't kill me. Jesse finally subscribed. Love the videos. Can you look at BTT or BTTQF? The founders of Hive run this quantum company. I can look at it. I just don't know shit about quantum, and I don't really believe in it that much. Marvell has the second best AI revenue, only second to NVIDIA. In regard to chips. Oh, and I did sell some MetaPlanet. Give me 1 second here, guys. Just going to look at something. So yeah, market going down today. I think that's probably good, though. I mean, I don't think it's bad for the market to go down. Might be one of the better things to have happen. We don't mind if the market drops a little bit. Yeah, my options are all fucked up again. I hate that so much. Now I'm down just an absorbent amount of money. So dumb. So dumb. Let me just check something real quick here, guys. I'm just making one other trade super fast. Oh, that's not even close. Sorry. I'm just checking some stuff out here. Oh, okay. That might be right. What are the fees on this one? Oh, no fees. That's interesting. All right. Well, maybe that is interesting then. Why MTF sale GTC limit orders? Oh, it's not even, it's less than 1% of my total. So please don't take it as much more for that than that. It's just not. It's not that. Yeah, please don't take it as too much, guys. I literally, I had 173,000 and I was going to cancel out of it, but I was too late. Or 163,000 shares, and I ended up selling 1,000 out of 163. So please don't take it too seriously. Jesse, what's your time frame on MetaPlanet hitting 30? Do you plan to enter the MetaPlanet in next bear cycle? Possibly. I really love Dylan LeClaire, and I like Simon, the CEO, the guy who went to Harvard and is a derivatives trader. What's my time frame? Months to quarters. So by the end of the year, maybe sooner. Again, if it hits 30 to 50 sooner, I'm probably exiting the majority of my position because that would just be so much money for me. To be clear, guys, right now it's at $10. If it hits 50, that is a 400% increase. I have over 1.7 million, even with the 1,000 shares I sold this morning. $1.7 million plus dollars in MetaPlanet right now, about 1.72 million. So it's a lot. What's your opinion on miners now? I still own all of them. I still think they're going to have their turn. I think they're actually being pretty strong. Mara's only down 0.6%. What is SMCI down now? Let's look through a couple of these guys. So that TSWCF thing is up 28% now. That's retarded. Probably too high, but I'm glad I own some of it. And oh, that's that one too. Why do I have it in both? Did I dupe it? Oh, this is SBET. Let me save that with the right ticker. I'm gonna get these in today. Whoa, what's going on here? What is happening? Whoa, I'm gonna refresh this. Oh, there we go. SBET. I'm gonna publish these charts in Discord today too, guys. So this is SBET. Looks like it used to be a company that was worth something and a lot of somethings back in May of 2025. Oh, so this is when they started. So I don't even know what their NAV is right now. They're at 2.24 billion. So Ethereum got crushed. I don't know if this is when they started doing their thing or what, but it's much more reasonable down here, I would argue, with a nice base underneath of it. So let me real quickly, I'll do a good chart on this. And again, I'll share this stuff. Let me do this real fast. Sharing. I'll copy these links and I'll put them into Discord later. I've got a bunch of that to do with. But let me just do this. I'm going to grab here to here, back down to here. So this thing could go to, theoretically, $88 before it starts to retrace. And it's a 2.26 billion. So if it does that, it's like a $5 billion company. So I don't know. This is interesting. I don't know how much their holding is in their NAV. I've got a little bit in it. Probably not going much higher. As far as my total holdings, I'll probably keep it kind of where it is, I think. Yeah, I'll probably keep it where it is. All right. Anyway, so this one's up 16%. The other one's up 28%. So these are doing all right today. Let's look over here. SWC, this is the main one, right? I should actually probably publish this too. I'll have both of these in the same place. Let me make sure this one is shared. Yeah, okay, good. Let's go over to the right. Again, ARKG. ARKG today down 0.43%. Whatever. It was starting off strong. The stock market really isn't doing much. I think that data was great. I don't know why it's not doing better, but whatever. It's okay. I still think that like things like Tesla are in wonderful positioning. Let's look at the daily on it. So again, we closed this gap. That was yesterday. We're down a little bit, but I'm going to make this argument, guys. I'm going to make this argument because it's very, very important. I've said it before, but I want to say it again. This candle right here, this volume daily candle that marked this bottom with the huge wick up that we had, is the second highest volume. This is the one that's highest, going up all the way back to December of 2020. So all of 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, and halfway into 2025, 4.5 years, this is the second highest daily volume. If this doesn't tell you that we're going higher, I don't know what is. I know there's this guy, Bolt something. I actually added him yesterday as somebody to follow, but he is an idiot when it comes to Tesla. You got to be a moron to think that it's going to do really bad. You got to be a moron. I just don't get it. So anyway, yeah, Metaplanet down a little bit, 3.5% today. Again, Metaplanet, guys, let's look at that actually. Let's jump over to that real quick. And then there are others we need to look at, and I'll try and get better at looking at more of these too. Maybe we'll do daily streams. We'll definitely be here tomorrow for the algo. I want to get more people in here. But right here, this is what we have for our gap. This one isn't going to close. This one isn't going to close. Maybe in the bear market, this one will close. Maybe. But this one could close. This could totally close. This gets us to the low 10s in Metaplanet. That's not a bad number. That's not a bad place to be. I like that number. So again, if you're looking to buy Metaplanet, my favorite Bitcoin treasury as far as risk to reward, I think it's got the best asymmetric. I think again, it can go up 300 to 400%. If you like those odds, then this is a good company to invest in. That's without options. I don't think they have options in the U.S. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they do. But yeah, just a really good opportunity, in my opinion, on this one. A really good opportunity. Something that might be hella fun. Hella fun. Gosh, my exchange is just being weird. WAF. It's being super WAF. They don't. Okay, yeah. I didn't think they did. So yeah, anyway, so Metaplanet, I think that one could do really well. Let's just look at the broader market here. 1.43%. We got breaking news. Let me just pull this up and see what they have to say. I might call it in a little bit. I don't think we have more. Oh, wait a second. Oh, this might be fun.
Here this morning in Washington after flying
I didn't even know
from
this was
London after yesterday's meeting with the Chinese delegation. We saw a post on social media this morning from the president, and there you see a live look-in at the Treasury Secretary arriving in the House committee room there. We will hear from him, presumably his assessment of what happened in that session yesterday with the Chinese delegation. Talks not over. We saw a post from the president on social media earlier this morning in which the president suggested that a deal of some kind has been crafted that has to go to the two leaders now, Xi Jinping and himself, in order to be ironed out. And you can bet that the members of this committee are going to press Treasury Secretary Bessent for his assessment of what that deal is. The president suggested that there were some mining agreements, some magnets agreements, rare earths, and also an exchange for allowing Chinese students to stay at American universities, something the president said he's never been opposed to all along. we'll see if Bessent here gives any more detail on that. Also on the docket, guys, today, a lot of members are going to want to know more details about this administration's plans for tax and spending. Obviously, the Ways and Means Committee is the tax committee on Capitol Hill. As you see that camera go a little wonky on us, you get the sense of the action in the room as everybody's getting settled in. So a lot of details here on tax planning that might be in the works as well. So we'll watch all that and bring it to you as we have it, guys.
Some of his comments, according to the wires this morning, Eamon, talk about if China will uphold its end of the initial Geneva agreement, he says, a big, beautiful rebalancing of U.S. and Chinese economies is possible. You had the president on Truth Social talk about a reopening of trade. Is that a bit of whiplash for corporates that have been working anxiously to exit the China environment?
Yeah, I think it's a very confusing environment right now for corporate leaders who are dealing with supply chains that touch China. And that's just about everybody who deals in materials of any kind, right? So at this point, you just have to assume that this is a moving target, and it's not entirely clear where this is going to land. And so I think everybody in the economy, top to bottom, is watching these talks to see whether or not they can come up with some resolution and some predictable rules of the road for trade going forward. We don't know what's in this deal. We don't know if there's going to be a deal signed between the two leaders. There's a lot we don't know here, and that's why I think a lot of people are going to be really watching Bessent over the next couple of minutes to see if he can give us any more clarity on that.
Yeah, I mean, chips, obviously, the Chinese certainly want access to certain levels of semiconductor chips. NVIDIA had an entire class that they made for the Chinese market called the H20, which they are no longer able to sell there. So that will be interesting to see if the Treasury Secretary has anything to share on that front, Eamon, as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at each category, a lot of trade deals will be enormously detailed, hundreds of pages, line item after line item of individual goods that can be traded at what tariff, et cetera. This feels more like what we're going to get is a broad brush agreement between the two sides on a couple of points. And I think markets will welcome that if we get the details of it, just in the sense that any agreement at all between the two sides gives you a sense that this relationship is on a more stable footing going forward and is not descending into some sort of global chaos. That would be reassuring, but I don't think we're going to get the hundreds of pages of detailed line items. I mean, they only had a couple of days of meetings here, not nearly enough time to hash that out in the kind of detail that we're used to historically of trade agreements between major partners.
Okay, Eamon, thank you. Eamon Javers monitoring the Treasury Secretary on Capitol Hill. One thing that Treasury Secretary Bessent is going to have some good answers for, especially from Democrats, is on inflation, because we got the newest read on May inflation, and guess what? No inflation spike. Everything came in below consensus. I mean, this is one that the White House has to be really happy with. Overall, the monthly gain of 0.1%, less than expected, no real inflation. Overall, core inflation, 0.1%, less than expected. Here's where some of the if you pull it out, where the sort of pressures come from: fuel oil, electricity, medical care, commodities, food away from home. So restaurants is still adding inflation, but still that was a smaller increase than we have seen in prior months. Look at this. So gasoline, we know. Used cars, negative numbers on inflation on the monthly read. Apparel, David, everyone was worried that the retailers were going to raise prices because of tariffs. Either not yet or not happening, because demand is soft. And that's going to be a debate. And I pulled out some of the favorite food items that saw the most and least inflation on the month. So we're finally getting some egg deflation, thank God, down 2.7% on the month. Frozen non-carbonated drinks, they saw a big spike over recent years because of crops like orange juice. That had a big decrease. Ice cream, me and you, I don't know. There's demand there.
Yeah, there's always going to be demand there.
That's on increase. But the bottom line is it's going to get harder and harder for Fed Chair Powell and the folks at the Fed to explain why they're on hold waiting for inflation, because it's just not happening.
Well, and to that point, the president out with a post saying CPI just out, great numbers, Fed should lower 1 full point. Would pay much less interest on debt coming due, so important. So
well, guess what? Today's number definitely backs him up on that front. And the Fed can say, oh, well, maybe the retailers are holding inventory still, so they haven't raised prices. Maybe they're taking it on margins. Maybe it's coming later. But they're data dependent.
Look at that.
And what the data is showing right now
All right, guys, I think this actually did just adjust a little bit. It might more later, but now we have almost 17% chance of having 25 bips drop in the Fed. Yes, I agree. 25 bip drop. That's not bad, dude. That's not bad at all. That's very interesting.
Now is that there is not an inflationary spike. The effective tariff rate that went through, I mean, maybe it didn't show up in April yet.
Well, a lot of these tariffs are not even effective yet.
So, right, but they are for China, certainly, and they have been 10% on the rest of the world. I mean, we've heard all the companies complain about it and have to adjust some of the hit that they're taking on it. But there's another question here that we haven't really talked about, which is maybe demand is not as strong as we thought, and so, that's putting downward pressure on prices. I'll just give you one more really important one that the Fed is likely going to talk about next week in their meeting, Supercore. Remember Supercore? This was one that Fed Chair Powell said we're watching really carefully. It's services ex housing, because they can't really do anything about the housing inventories and everything like that. 0.06% monthly increase. That was very small.
Very small. Real quick here, I've got to show this. This is crazy, guys. That TSWCF is getting walloped right now. Again, we can still fill down here, guys. We could drop down to $1.50 something. So I think you got to be prepared. There's no volume in here, but damn it if people aren't pushing that thing higher. I bought some. I think I've doubled my position. I got to check my limit orders. But yeah, I might have to post about this one soon enough. This is just crazy, though. Oh, it looks like I did close an order. Did I close two? Oh, I closed a bunch. Okay, so I've got more of that to put out, too. Let me actually just screenshot this real quick. Let me just post this super fast. And again, you guys will be able to talk about this, but since I'm going to do it on here... And I got to post this in Discord. Sorry, I haven't yet. I'm just doing so many things at once. All right, so to subscribers, okay. All right, let me post some of this stuff. I got to get this over on X here too. Let's see how best it's doing though.
Months have expected to see some tariff effects. Some tariffs have been in place for a bit of time. And in 2019, one of the key takeaways from looking at category level data as the tariffs went into place was that the flow through happened pretty quickly. So it's not unreasonable to say this was a soft print. This is good news. This leans a little bit toward a smaller effect. But I suspect Chair Powell will be comfortable saying,
dude, that investment, that SWC is fucking awesome. Yeah, sorry, Gemini. I can see why your buddy's making a killing on it. It's such a small cap, and they're adding tons of Bitcoin. It could be a fraud. You never know. It's so hard right now with 66 Bitcoin treasuries to know which ones are going to do well and which ones are going to fail. I like the aggressive strategy on it, though. I really do. I think that's a brilliant thing.
I'm
going to mute this a little bit. I hate it when they're talking. I only give a shit when we hear Scott Besson talking. Jesse thinks, I don't know, that was that. One of my buddies is in okay. Scott King, that'll pay for the tax accountant call next. What will? I'm still holding SBET up 15% of position so far. It looks like it's wick off accumulation period. Yeah, the only thing you have to realize is with SBET, and I just bought some of that too. I got a small amount, like 10 grand or 16 or something. That I need to post that too. I don't even know if I got that one out. It's a $2.25 billion cap. So that's a 2.25. That's a much bigger number than what we're seeing with SWC right now, which is saying 7.33 million, not 2 billion, million. And then I don't even know where my other ticker is here. It's somewhere. But yeah, so that's And that thing, so there's a difference in caps. The upside on SWC or the TSWCF that I'm in is potentially a lot higher. There's an interview on X with SWC. Oh, can you tag me on that on X, dude? Can you tag me? Can you open it, throw up a post and tag me in it? I'd love to see it. I would love to see it, honestly. I think that sounds super duper interesting. But yeah, so I think I have, oh, did I get another SBIT contract? Did I buy more of that? Oh, that was in my other account. Oh, okay. I got to post all this stuff. I'm behind. That's fine. Just tag me on it. I'll look for anybody that's given me recent notifications. So whatever you do, I'll see it. What is your name on X, if you don't mind? But yeah, so right now, guys, TSWCF, I'm sitting on, if this is right, it's selling for $1.97, up 33% on the day. I've got 43,000 in one account. And then says 28,000 in the other. So 43, 60, 70 something. But I got another one that didn't, or did it close? I'm confused now. It looks like it did close, so I thought I bought more than that on the other account. I don't know. Things are so weird sometimes. Let me refresh. Maybe I didn't. Maybe that was one of three and I didn't do my four. Oh, no. I do have 20,000. Yeah, so I've got 40,000 on one, 43 on the other. So I'm sitting at about 75K, which is a similar investment to what I did with KWM. Please do every day early AM now that I'm channel member. I need daily DGen plays. I don't want to be that guy at all. But I don't hate a little bit of DGen. A little bit of DGen can be fun. But you just don't want to. You don't want to YOLO your whole fucking portfolio and lose it all because you're stupid and basically gambling. That's the dangerous part, right? Like, you don't want to be that guy. My mouse is being weird. I don't know if my battery's getting low. I might actually have to go. I think my battery's getting low. We're breaking 110. Fuck, I hate to do this. Let me, you know what? Give me a second. I'll see if I can get batteries. Let me do this. I'll bring this. Oh, they're not even talking about. Well, here, I'll let you listen to this for a second. I'm going to grab some batteries. I'll be right back.
Possible they could go earlier, but I suspect some of the more hawkish, more concerned Fed officials will want to see a little bit more kind of post-tariff calming down before they're willing to go ahead.
All right, David, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Really good to get your take first here on CPI from Goldman.
About 30 minutes into the trading session, three big movers we're watching today. NVIDIA shares hovering near some record highs. After a speech from Jensen Huang overnight at a tech conference in Paris, he said quantum computing is at an inflection point, announced a new partnership with a slew of telecom companies to build AI infrastructure there. Lockheed Martin under some pressure after the Pentagon slashed its request for F-35 planes in half, asking for 24 planes in its procurement request to Congress, down from 48. And shares of Talon Energy higher after the company announced this morning it signed an expanded nuclear energy agreement with Amazon. Talon will supply electricity from one of its Pennsylvania plants to AWS data centers.
Here's our roadmap now for you for the rest of the hour. Elon Musk walking back some of his sharpest criticisms of President Trump as Tesla stock makes a recovery from last week's drop. Details ahead.
Plus, Meta scales up its AI ambitions. It's investing $14.3 to get a 49% stake in Alexander Wang's Scale AI. We're going to talk about where this move could position Meta.
There is so much going on right now, guys. SWC is not in Robinhood. No. If you're in the U.S., you could try a regular exchange. Robinhood doesn't have a lot of the Bitcoin treasuries. I think they're trying to avoid another GameStop type moment, so they don't have them. But if you're in the U.S., it's not SWC. What did I buy? Where is it here? Let me find it. It's TSWCF. But watch out, dude. It's already up 35% today. You might like this. Oh, I forgot. You're an admin. You can post those. Awesome, Chris. Let me see. Billionaire Paul Tudor Jones says buying Bitcoin is one of the best ways to fight inflation. Awesome. I love hearing that.
To fight inflation. But it would be some combination of probably gold, vol adjusted, Bitcoin, gold, stocks.
Yeah, I can't. I don't think I can buy that one. MATAF. I don't think I can buy that one, bro. Let me just see real quickly. Let's listen to this.
That's probably your best portfolio to fight inflation. Vol adjusted, because the vol of Bitcoin is obviously 5 times that of gold. So you're gonna do it in different weights.
You said at one point you would allocate 1 or 2% of your portfolio to Bitcoin. Is it still?
Yeah, I mean, I think particularly now that the roadmap is clear, then I mean, again, if I'm a policymaker, I'm going to run really low real rates. I'm going to have inflation running hot, and I'm going to tax the American consumer to get out of my debt trap. And that's exactly what Japan, who's the most fiscally
That's not
constrained
what the U.S. is doing
in the world, doing. And it works until the population throws you out because you let inflation get too hot. So,
do we know what the market cap is on the MATAF? Excuse me. Do we know what the market cap is, guys? I can't seem to find it. What is this up to now? Almost $2. Oh, and I got the hiccups. Fuck. Shitty. Oh, God damn it. Bullish, excuse me. Bullish on BTC. My portfolio is up 40% in BTC and MSTR. From when? Oh, my God, I got the hiccups. I don't know if I move the markets. I think that one's going no matter what. Let me pull that up again. Let me just... Oh, my God. That's going to drive me nuts. Let me show you this one. So, again, this is the Canadian one. Or, I'm sorry, the UK one. Since May 23rd, 3 weeks ago, we have went from $17 to $138 there. So, a 9x. And Bitcoin's over 110. That looks good too. Dude. Oh, God, these hiccups are driving me nuts. But yeah, if you want to get in on this one, you can do it. Just remember, danger, danger. Be ready for zero or to make a shit ton. It's one of the two. Just, again, the fees are super high. If you're in the U.S., the fees are super high on this one. Oh my God, I got to get rid of that. Naka? I don't even know what Naka is. Can I get access to Naka? This is the U.S. symbol, but again, it's up 34% today. Keep that in mind. Albeit there's a little bit of a base volume here. If we hold the day on that, could be interesting, but this is totally a degen play. Degen as fuck from a non-financial advisor. Oh my God, these hiccups are going to freak me the fuck out. I'm going to see what NADA is here too. Oh, you guys are turning me into a fucking Bitcoin treasury degen. Hate you guys. No risk it, no biscuit. Oh my God. I might go just because, yeah, I'm trying to, man. I'm trying. I feel like I'm going to hiccup again. Okay, feeling better. Yeah, go sort your shit out. All right, let me see here. I'm trying to see if they... Oh, so they just totally... Oh, here's Voyager. They're talking about Voyager.
Space companies,
right.
Why now?
The timing is good. That was feedback from the investors, and I think our order book reflected that in the process. But also, I think thematically, some things have come together. Obviously, space infrastructure is a priority as we look to replace the International Space Station, for example. And then on the national security and defense side of things, whether it's Golden Dome or other security protocols that we're putting in place as a nation, we play right at the center of that. And so I think right company at the right time in the right place.
How big is the opportunity for Golden Dome for Voyager?
We don't know exactly, right? The president's budget request is circa $125 billion, I think. We will play in that in a couple of different ways. We have proprietary propulsion technology that factors into smart missile defense. We also have some optical navigation technology that plays. Also some radiation-hardened computers that we put on certain smart systems as well. So there's a few different ways that we can integrate into those systems. But we don't know exactly how big the opportunity is quite yet.
Your revenue last year was split between defense and space. Yeah. Your roots are in commercial space.
But let's not forget about Alejandro Silas, who pushed quantum stocks incessantly on this channel. And actually, honestly, Like for a period of time, he was super right, and people could have 10x their money. So I think a little bit of degen's okay. I just try and keep my degen down to like 1 or 2% of my portfolio. Like as far as the really degenerate, maybe 5% now with the way things are. But yeah, you don't want to go much more degen. You don't want to be 100% degen and turn into James Wynn. What was that guy's fucking name? Does anybody remember? The guy who lost everything.
Space.
Right.
Folks perhaps know you best for Starlab, which is the commercial space station that you're developing in part for NASA when ISS is decommissioned. Lay out the business case for commercial space stations, because just the fact that you're not going to be a publicly traded company and this is a key future business for you, I don't think people fully understand the business opportunities here.
It's enormous. So if you just look at the ISS spend today, it's around $5 billion, maybe a little bit more. That includes NASA, but also other partners like European Space Agency, Japanese Space Agency, and others. So if you just take that cost base and invert it, that becomes the commercial revenue opportunity. And that's just for the base case. So if you look at all the other opportunities you can do in microgravity.
Sorry, Sela said MTPLF is degen, is it not? No, I don't consider it to be that in any fucking way. I wouldn't have $1.7 million plus sitting in it if it was, of which I've made 708,000 in a period of what, like a month or something since I started with it. No, Dylan LeClaire is one of the most brilliant people on earth. The CEO is also the same. He went to Harvard. He's a derivatives trader. He really gets Bitcoin. And he's amazing. And then you got Dylan LeClaire, who personally saved me hundreds of thousands of dollars by letting me know that Celsius, the exchange, was going to go under, and due to rehypothecation, that Gemini that was servicing Grayscale was having issues, which caused that discount where it was like 54% of, instead of being 100, it was 54% of their Bitcoin holdings. He let me know about FTX. He let people know about like Voyager and just a ton of other exchanges that were all collapsing. I'm highly indebted to that guy. He is brilliant. He says a lot, but I kind of do too. Maybe less than him, but still. But no, this is one of the most brilliant companies on earth, and the math is solid. It's very, very real. It's like MicroStrategy, but smaller. So no, I don't feel that way at all. I feel very, very positive about 300 to 400% increase in the price of that between now and the end of the year, or I wouldn't hold $1.7 million plus in it. So no, I'm very, very excited. Now hovering around 195. Yeah, it could drop. I have like $70,000 or $80,000 in that degen play now. I would maybe put another 50 towards it if it drops pretty hard. Maybe even another 100 just for shits and giggles. Yeah, I'd maybe put 100, maybe 100. Anyway, all right, let's keep going. It's already 9:30. I've already been doing this for 2.5 hours. I might call it, guys. So plus I don't want to buy any more treasuries because you guys peer pressuring me. So again, I think TSWCF is down to 192. It could drop further. If this thing got into like the 160s or 150s again, fuck. If that happens, I'm probably buying more. I'm not lying. I'm probably buying more. Have you looked at granny calls at 27? Best returns I've ever seen. Oh, is that Tom Lee's? I'll take a look. I haven't really been paying attention to it, but I love Tom Lee, and I just showed you something where I thought that we could get a nice pop in small caps. So yeah, I'll take a look. If things are turning around in America, again, let's look at it this way. Let's close on this. We're seeing massive inflows of capital into the United States. Massive. Across everywhere, right? We're seeing a bill getting ready to pass, the big, beautiful bill that will not only lower taxes on tips, insurance, or Social Security and overtime, but now it's going to set up investment accounts for every new child that's born, and that's going to go through 2029, and give them $1,000. Those things alone are huge. Then we have deregulation, which is massive. We have the potential. I don't know what's going on with the gold card, the Trump card. I don't know if they've ran into some legal issues. I haven't heard much about it, but I think that could still be a thing too. Maybe it won't have his face on it. I don't know. But I see a massive expansion. I see a lot of people super short right now, the markets, and I could see them go up a lot. So I'm excited. I think we're getting ready to make just a shit ton of money, and I'm very excited about it. And I hope you guys are too, and I hope you benefit from it a ton. The child accounts are huge. I think that's such a big thing. And again, just allowing it to where when your kid's an adult, like they can have wealth and participate in capital creation and understand the benefits of capitalism. That is beautiful to me. I remember. No, I don't know why your comments are blocked. I see you, Gemini Knight. Sometimes if you type things, if you're putting in a URL or something, YouTube will block you. Or if it doesn't like what you're saying, like it's some sketchy shit, or it considers it sketchy, it doesn't have to be. It could get weird. But yeah, I think that when I was a kid, I got a savings account. Didn't work out very well for me. I didn't actually get to use any of my money, but that's a whole nother story. We were really poor at the time, and we were moving around, and we ended up living with my grandmother, and we had to use my savings as a child to be able to get there. So I kind of got the negative aspects of that too, but the thing I loved and I looked at all the time, and I got the money from detasseling corn as a child, sitting on this big thing and like picking off the tassels on the top of corn. And it was a lot of hard work, long days. My legs were all cut up because you'd wear shorts because it was so hot, and then the corn would just cut you, especially because it was so fresh and raw. But I loved looking at the little bit of interest I was making and realizing that I could make money off my money. It was just such a wild concept to me, and it instilled it for the rest of my life, I think, and got me as a starter to where I am today. So imagine that times, 3.9 million new kids every year? Imagine them getting that excitement and looking at themselves getting wealthier from the money printing that's going on, especially if they can be invested in things like Bitcoin-related funds. I think things are changing. I think the United States could be a really beautiful thing. Ignore the noise, ignore the rioting. That could get worse before it gets better. But I think amazing things can happen in the future here, and I'm very excited about it. Looks like TSWCF is going down a little bit, down to 1.88, 1.87 right now, only up 27% on the day. But still, I think that one's a good opportunity too. If you're looking to degen, you might like it. Alex Garcia, grab a Fidelity account. Trumpster should keep his face off of public things. I don't know what that means, dude. Oh, you mean like the gold card? Yeah, fair. Matthew Purdy, Jesse, have you looked at AISP? No. Is that a Bitcoin treasury or something else? Mr. Tassler was in the corn business. Nice. All right, well, I'm going to go, guys. I think I'm going to go. I've got to add some stuff to the Discord, and I've got other things to do, but I hope you guys have a great day. And again, let's do it tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow. We'll look at PPI. We'll see how things are going. I think it's going to be beautiful. I think we're getting our degen on right now, guys. I think fun things are going to happen. Jesse, are you in ASST? I am not. Let's look at that one real quick, and then we'll go. I am in this one because it's got just a little baby cap. It says 13.32. And again, it could drop. This is like a Doge here, a Doji candle. But I like this one. I like how tiny the cap is. Just as an asymmetric bet, I like it. Let's see if we have ASST. If I don't have it, I'll add it real quick. I'm not going to buy it, though. You're not going to make me buy it. ASST, I do need to research it a little bit. Let me go in here. ASST, asset entities. Oh, wow. It's went down a lot. It's an 89 million cap. Ah, damn you guys. Getting me interested in shit. I got to look at the business and see what it looks like, see if there's any revenue at all. Probably not. Yeah, there is nothing. This is nothing. 51 employees, 89 million cap. So again, just kind of a money grab, but maybe a fun one. I don't know. I gotta look it up. AISP is better. You guys, let me save this real quick. We'll look at that one too real fast. What is that another treasury company? Oh, the AISP or ASST? Which one is Vivek and JD Vance? ASST. Ooh, okay, that's interesting then. Huh. AISP. Ooh, this does look like a breakout. This is 167 million. The pattern looks good on this one. Metaplanet's taken off? Is it? No, it's not. Is it? Let me go over here. Sorry. I'll save this one real quick. I'll look at these later, guys. Surveillance drones and cameras. Oh, okay, cool. I'll check that out. I don't know if that one's going to be asymmetric, but it's up 6.5%, and the technical pattern looks really good. Let's go over, though. What's going on with Metaplanet? You guys are getting me excited over. Oh. Where my Metaplanet at? Ah, there we go. Ooh, nice. I don't know about taking off, but it's better than it was. Did it close any more gap? It didn't. But again, we said that might not happen. So we'll see what happens with this one. Still a lot of empty volume down here to close that gap if it wants to. I wouldn't call it a breakout yet, but it could do well. MTPLF, Infidelity, Open a Roth. Yeah, it's in Ally, it's in Fidelity, Charles Schwab, all the big ones for sure. All the big ones for sure. They're sitting pretty good. So the big ones are nice, I think. TSWCF is down to 186. Again, it could drop even further than that. I'm looking at this one as just a fun opportunity to accumulate. A lot of fees on this one, though. When I was buying my blocks, they're probably better on some of these other exchanges. I can only get $10,000 blocks, $100 in fees every time I buy. That's just a stupid number. But when you sell, you can sell in really big blocks. It's just when you buy that they make you do it slowly because it's OTC. So, interesting. We'll see what happens. Thanks, Jesse. Got to bounce? Yeah, I'm going to bounce too. All right. Peace out, guys. Love ya very much. And let's do it again tomorrow. And otherwise, have a good rest of your day, okay? Stay out of trouble. Peace out. Thank you to the 500 plus people.